But they are recorded.
Okay, call the meeting to order. Okay, open public notice.
Adequate notice of this meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act by mailing the schedule of the Township Committee to the Express Times and North Star Ledger newspaper, posting a copy on the Township Bulletin Board, and filing a copy with the Township Clerk.
Roll call.
Kenya?
Here.
Dean?
Here.
Spencer?
Yeah.
Marqueta is absent. Parsons?
Here. Flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Okay, going to open the meeting to public comment. Members of the public invited to come up, okay, state their name and address. 3 minutes limits to ensure that everyone can get a chance to speak and we get through the agenda. So.
I'll second that motion. That was a motion, right?
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Anyone wishing to speak? Good evening.
Good evening.
And I want to open up the meeting by first recognizing, I'm sure you all know, that this week is National Police Week. And so I want to acknowledge that, and I want to say that we should all be thankful to our own police and all the other police in this country who have gone out and sacrificed their lives every day to keep us and our families and communities safe. So I want to put that out there for all of you. And just to recognize that too. The other issue is I'm not going to go into anything in particular, but I have opened the budget. I believe that this is being adopted tonight. I'm not going to go into item by item of things that I have noticed here that are somewhat unanswered or questionable in my view. As Mr. Kenya pointed out last time I was here, I did not use this and won't use this as a platform for my candidacy for the Township Committee. But I will be bringing up some of the things that I do think are, in fact, somewhat not thought out as perhaps this board should have thought out when they were proposing this budget and therefore being adopted tonight. So,
Thank you, Lydia. Anyone else?
is this for the budget or just general?
You can speak in general. We didn't limit it to the budget, but so if you want to go. Pardon? Yeah.
I'm actually my fire chief, Pat. I think in time, I got an email 2 days ago for the agenda. The people that we purchased the fire tanker off requested or asked if it could be shown in Wildwood for the fireman's perspective. And they put that request in, and I'm bringing it forward to the Township Committee. As the Township Ordinance says, the fire chief is in charge of all the apparatus, but I figured this is the first time.
That's not until September anyway, right?
September, but they need to know by June 5th, because they're putting together what's going to be there.
What are the advantages to us?
That I didn't ask them yet, but that was what I'm going to do is see what there is for the fire department, these fire equipment, and so forth and so on. During that weekend anyway, we do a lot of dual alerting covers and stuff, and it'd be like while we were waiting for the tanker to be delivered, we just put a tanker on mutual aid.
Do we know the neighboring towns aren't going?
What's that?
Do we know the neighboring towns aren't taking their tankers?
My mutual aid plan when we're in Wildwood anyway has 2 companies covered at least
Right.
on all calls. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Well, he's saying no, but he's coming to us, I think, out of a courtesy to go. So, I mean, if you want to make that, well, let's make the public comments over this. How you doing, Mr. Slater?
Charles Friday, 103 Bradford Lane. I'd like to thank the township for playing the glass and the property across the street. And it's foreclosure for 6 years now. And up to now, we have bank to get back. It's been, it was about 2 to 3 feet high.
fellow did a good job, he had to go back and forth several times. Now, we're hoping we're gonna build back the, management company, or whoever's handling that, because a couple of years ago, we had a suit that's been all brought in the court, and it was determined that they should maintain that property. So I think we get back, I don't know if anybody contacted them, or...
Yeah, that's why it took the 2 weeks from when you called to have it done, because there's a process we have to go through to do that.
Right. But anyway, it is in the foreclosure now for 6 years. I don't know what's going on. But it's really terrible that people have to live with it. In regard to the budget, I just have a couple of things that have shifted around. In regard to I will mention about the police salaries, as you know, are they're allocated $1,149,000 police salaries. Last year was $996,000, an increase of $100,000. I assume we're going to get some new officers proposing.
Yes, that's in the budget.
It's nice to always get more people and so forth, but I think it should be looked at, really, do we really need it? The reason I say we don't need it is because I can't afford it. That's the reason. I rather have deficit. But, like I say, it's going out of sight. Because the year before, the budget was $874,500. So, from the year before to this budget, there's an increase of $274,500, only 31% increase. That's an awful lot.
You're using a bad year for your comparison. That's the year that they terminated the police chief, and they were down people, and it was understaffed at that time, so. Well, if you went back a year or two before that, I don't think you'd see
I
it.
know there was some money taken out of other line items and so forth, put on here, because it's not gonna look so bad of an increase for taxes, but it's gonna catch up with us. And especially when you get people, it adds up, it keeps adding up every year.
Yeah, that's
Now
true.
You got the retirement. You know, so careful when you hire people. Do us a favor, I can't afford it. I want to ask about this quickly, streets and roads, improvement. Now, we had a capital appropriation last year. There's nothing under there, under the capital appropriation this year for roads and streets. Now, was that for the different debts? But I noticed there's something that says other in the expense line for both streets and roads. Is that where it is now? I assume we're going to pave streets.
Yeah, that's going to continue.
It was moved from the year before?
Last year in the budget, sheet, if you have the budget in front of you, sheet 26.
I don't have last year's.
Well, this year in the budget as well, sheet 26. There's $250,000 put into the budget this year, and there's
So there is one in there for that,
Yes.
because it's certain reviews.
Yes.
That's what I was looking. Okay. Are we gonna borrow money for the vehicles that is proposed to be bought?
Possibly, yes.
Well, it looks like it's $2 million.
That's not, I don't think you're reading that right.
No?
No. It's not $2 million for vehicles.
Well,
It's not $2 million for vehicles. That would be a lot of vehicles, obviously.
well, it's not only vehicles, it's open space too.
Correct.
It's all under capital though. And let's see, we're gonna have to borrow, if we go through all this, it was for fire department vehicles, police vehicles and equipment, open space, purchase of ambulance, and reconduct.
But that's not a done deal. That's all to be discussed yet. That's the potential
Well, that's what I'm
purchase.
going with.
Yeah, I understand why you're, I'm just telling you that's,
I'm saying that's a hell of a lot of money.
yeah, and we're not saying that we're spending all that, so.
And if we have to borrow it, we're gonna pay interest on all that stuff too. If you do.
Yes.
Full bonds. So, I'm here as usual just to say, we can't afford it.
Thanks, Mr. Slack. Have a good night. Anyone else? Seeing none, motion to close?
Close. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody want to respond to anything, make any comments on that? Okay. Payment of bills. Anyone have a chance to review? Anybody make a motion to pay? And we need to add one. We have to do this as a separate item?
It's not on the bill list, unless you want to add that to the total, but
No, we're doing separate.
do a separate motion. First one is $896,331.43.
Do you have any questions?
No, I have no questions. I'll make the motion to pay the bills for $896,231.43.
I'll second it. So, all second. Discussion? Roll call?
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marson?
Yes. Okay, we got, is this the final bill from Earthworks for the park?
No.
No?
We may get, well, we're certainly gonna get at least one more bill, because what is left out there is primarily, the electric and water. And the water is change order, we're gonna talk about it later. Beyond that, there's always some loose ends at the end of the job and some monies that we withhold from final payment to the contractor, things like that, especially with all the seeding and grass that we're looking to grow. Clearly, we're gonna hold back some money until we see that the seed has taken and so forth. So I'm gonna guess there'll probably be two more bills. One will be a little bit bigger for the electric and the water, and then there'll be a final closeout.
Okay. So this bill was for pretty much what then?
This bill, and just so I'm clear, because I know there was an email from Kathleen today, and it was actually Kim and Kathleen and I. The bill list that you approved did include this voucher?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, that's why we're doing it
I see the
separate,
number's
yeah.
different, okay.
Yes,
Okay, voucher number 5, which is before you tonight for approval, is primarily fertilizing, seeding, and the completion of this stone for the parking lots. That's the line share.
Didn't I see a note where that said, though, that this was paying 93% of that contract?
No, what the, well, where is this?
Yeah, on the back it says percentage completed.
Okay, overall, the project is approximately 93% complete. That is the sum of all previous vouchers and payments made to the contractor.
Right.
If you just do a quick division, paid, which,
Right, so-
including this, it's 93%.
Right, so there's only 7% of the original set aside for it left to cover holding, electrical, plumbing.
Right, and obviously that equates to dollars
$35,000,
and cents.
a little over $35,000, 7%.
30, 60, 7, no, it's about 30, 60, it's about 90,000.
I'm looking at total value of $569, 7% of that.
No,
Oh,
that was
okay.
sort of the total original cost, right? Which was 900 and some.
No.
No?
The original was 560, I believe.
With
For
phase
phase
Oh, just
one.
Earthworks.
Yeah. Original, well, there, it's 564, and some change. Present contract is 569, because we had a
The change order.
prior change order, which was for the sewer pipe. And amount paid to date is 524 over 569. Yeah, 569, which is the total contract value, minus 524, so whatever that, so
45,000, somewhere around
Yeah,
that.
somewhere in there.
Yeah, okay, so that's what's left, that's what's
Okay.
left.
Okay, I guess I'm looking for a motion to, pay the $45,570,000 to Earthworks.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion, comments? Roll call?
Hold on.
Roll call.
Wait, this doesn't include engineering fees, right?
No.
How much we have in engineering fees on phase one?
Excuse me, Will?
How much are we at with your engineering
I
fees? With
I
your
don't know,
overruns?
I don't know, to be honest. Obviously, we've expended a decent chunk of money now on phase two as well, putting all the plans together. Well, I'm going to talk about that during my report. And we have separated, we have a job number for phase one and a job number for phase two.
Just
So
your numbers for phase one so far.
I would say it's probably,
You're 45,000 over last time, right?
it's probably about 80, I'm going to guess, in that ballpark.
It was 80 last time.
Okay, I'm sorry, Will, I don't have access to any of that information. I was kind of going on to like gut feeling.
We don't go on gut
So I can
feeling.
certainly, provide you with a detailed breakdown tomorrow,
You
actually.
can,
Yeah, sure, I can send something out and break it all down,
yeah.
no problem.
Anything else?
Nope.
Roll call?
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
And
Yes. Okay, next we have resolutions. First one is 2017-53, authorizing redemption of tax liens as listed on the resolution.
Have to.
Yeah. Do we make a
Make a
motion?
motion.
Will makes the motions. I'll second. Any discussions, questions? Roll call?
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. Resolution 2017-54, it's a tonnage grant application. It's authorizing the submission of a recycling tonnage grant to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and designates Bob Beckerson to ensure that the application is properly filed. He's been handling this for a few years now. How much we get from this?
Money-wise,
Yeah.
we just amended it because unbelievably, LMR, Republic, Waste Management are garbage haulers that service our town.
Mhm.
Did not supply tonnage to them for comment. So we are amending our application. It's already been submitted to the state. So-
They submitted it directly to the state?
Yes.
Okay.
Email directly down to Joe Davis. So we're doing some, amending, Victor Kevin. This resolution is part of the application.
Okay.
I printed out the tonnage
Mm-hmm.
to date, and I think we have, 12,878.20 tons.
Yeah.
So money-wise, I can say how much.
Okay. Well, it'd be foolish not to apply for it, I think. But anyway, I'm looking for a motion to,
Make the motion.
Second.
got a second? Discussion, questions? Roll call?
Kenya?
Yes.
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. Okay. Then we have a resolution requesting permission for the dedication by riders for Uniform Fire Safety Act penalty monies. What's this regarding? I just got this one tonight, so.
56 and 57, you see, they're back to back.
Yes.
56 and 57. We did these back in November, I believe, and it needed to be fine-tuned and, so the statute needed to be changed because we had the wrong statute in there. So there's some things John said, as part of our budget approval, because we're self-review or stated, that we needed to amend these, per what the terms
Okay.
that he wanted. So 56 and 57, one is the, uniform fire safety, and the other one is the, right at the parking offenses.
Okay. So it's just tightening it up? Okay. Anyone want to make a motion to adopt resolution 2017-56 and 57?
Second.
Second.
Discussion, questions? Roll call?
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. Well, 55, I think, is under somebody else, that's why.
Oh, okay.
I skipped it. 2017-58, resolution for a member participation in the Middlesex Regional Educational Services Commission. This is the one we spoke about last month, I think, with the fire chief, or 2 months ago. Costs us nothing to join, allows us to make purchases through this commission, under state grant, under contracts already approved. So, I want to make a motion to adopt 2017-58.
Make the motion.
I'll second. Anybody have questions, discussions? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes. Okay. Number 3. Okay, it's my turn, but well, we do have another cap ordinance for 2017-03. That would be, it's under tab 3. That's an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limit and to establish a cap bank. And this time I'll have Mr. Mooney explain it so people in the audience can understand.
Sure. This is an ordinance that used to be done automatically through the passage of the budget. The state has made every municipality pass this as a separate ordinance. What this does is it establishes a cap bank. So any money that you do not raise in your budget this year, you have a limit you can raise up to. Any money between what you do raise and what that limit is goes into what's called a cap bank. It's there for future years for you to use in case there's any emergencies or any issues going forward. It provides you with maximum flexibility when you're doing your budget. It's basically an insurance policy. It does not authorize any spending. It's something that you should be doing every year. We missed it a few years back. We got back into doing it last year. We're doing it again this year. And it only helps you going forward.
Okay. You want to make the motion?
Make the motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Discussion, questions, comments?
When was the last time we did it?
Last year,
Okay, previously to that?
several years ago. I knew last year, I think we went about 3 years without doing it. And now it's back.
Roll call?
Okay, there was a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody from the public want to make any comments? Seeing none, motion to close?
Hold on, I had a hand up.
Oh, hold on.
How much money is in the cap bank?
You need to come up and state your name and address, Bob, okay?
Hi, I'm Rob Brunkoff from Stewartsville, 121 Kennedy Mill Road. How much money is in this, how much money do we have currently in this cap bank, and what type of, and is it saved in the bank account, is it saved in something, do you make interest on it, do you do any of that wonderful stuff?
No. You currently have, get ready for this, $561 in this cap bank.
Okay.
And this is a product of you not doing it for so many years. Once you stop doing it, that 3.5% comes down, and it really squeezes you to keep you in line with actually last year's number. Right? The 3.5% provides you with any flexibility in case the state says, instead of budgeting this outside cap last year, we want you to bring it inside cap this year. So rather than having to go out and raise taxes, you're able to bring that money in from the cap bank. And what cap bank is, it's not money that you're raising, it's not tax dollars or anything like that. It's a number that sits there on the state's website that they keep track of, that you're allowed to take off their website and factor in as you're doing the budget calculations year after year. It's not money you're raising. They say you can raise up to $3 million, you raise $2.9 million, you have $100,000 that goes into the cap bank. It's not money that they generate from the taxpayer, it's just a number on paper.
Okay.
And it carries forward for 2 years. This $561 this year will carry into 2018 budget and then into 2019 budget. If you don't use it, it falls off.
And that's why you ended up in a situation where nobody did it, so whatever was in the bank before.
You lost everything in the bank. Correct. And now you're rebuilding what you're well, not collecting, but
budgeting for the year currently. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else? Motion to close?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, the motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
You seconded it last time? Okay. Now discussion, anything, comments? Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes. Next is the budget. Okay. Anyone want to make a motion? We have to open up for a public hearing, right? Yeah, as I say, that's what I'm thinking. Why don't,
I wish, right?
motion to open the budget for a public hearing.
So.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone wishing to come up and make any comments or questions about the budget? Come up to the podium, name, address, and...
Oh, this is a container. I have one. Here you go, Gary, I have one.
You want me to give you time to look at it? You want to ask something, or?
Gary,
Yeah.
Gary.
Usually I haven't wanted to answer.
There's one.
Okay.
I have more.
Excuse me?
What we got, I'm gonna think about it.
It's not on the website yet, is it? Not yet?
We can do that, he said.
Okay, seeing no other comments, motion to close?
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Looking for a motion to adopt the 2017 municipal budget.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Comments?
Yeah. I'm-
Questions?
Earlier, Bob, I was talking to Mr. Mooney over here about maybe helping out the rescue squad with their roof. Paul and I earlier this week had some emails going back and forth, and last year in the budget, I requested $13,500 to be put into the budget last year. Somehow it never got into the budget. Here we are in second year, and I think they just spent $40,000 on the roof. So, I was wondering a way that we could put it in this year's budget, so I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Mooney.
I sat here and I thought about it for a little bit, and there are two options I could think of. You have money in cash. If you change the budget now, it's going to require an amendment to the budget. We're not
Something I don't
gonna
think we want to do.
I don't think we want to go
Right.
down that route tonight. You have money in capital improvement fund. If you wanted to do a bond ordinance to move that money into capital improvement fund to pay for the roof, that's one way to go. The other way to go would be to pay them out of the first aid contribution line, first aid fire contribution line item.
No, it would be,
Is it first aid or?
first aid, because fire has their own line item.
Okay, so first aid and the first aid contribution line item. But if there's not enough funds in there, as of now, you couldn't do it. Your CFO can't overexpend.
Right,
But come November, that's when you can start to make budget transfers.
right.
If you could wait till November to pay, if the money's not in there now, then you can make the transfer in and pay the bill at that point. There will be some line items that, good things happen and we expected to pay more and we don't have to. So we could take money from one item and move it to the other.
That's if we have a good year.
That's if you have a good year.
Right.
I anticipate that you'll be able to make some movements towards the end of the year.
Well, I know Kathleen's not here, and I did have a conversation with her, and she felt that there was money that she could move from 2016, the year that bill had originally,
When was the roof done?
just being finished now, but it was originally awarded in September of 2016.
But the work in the bill...
Just got done now. It was supposed to be done last September, but it just got done now.
2017, I would charge it to 2017. And I would go down the route of moving money towards the end of the year. With an ordinance, you got the first year, you got the reading, you got the hearing, you got the estoppel period, so it's going to take time anyway before you can pay back the first aid squad. So I would do it through resolution towards the end of the year, transferring funds into the line, if you could wait till the end of the year. You went through 16 without having to pay it, So
Right.
could you go to the end of 17 before you can release those funds? The only downside is you have to wait a little bit longer.
So, Paul, how is, can you guys handle that?
Oh, no, we paid for it, it's a done deal.
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal, yeah. I mean, it was being done, paid for, whether the town was kicking in a couple of bucks one way or another.
I understand that, but, I'm at the point, I think we all are. I mean, I hate seeing the firemen out there at Home Depot holding out their, boots, asking for a couple of bucks. I mean, it's bad enough they have to get up in the middle of the night to put out a fire or whatever. And same thing with the rescue squad. Our rescue squad answers nearly 100% of their calls. They don't rely on mutual aid from other towns, so, again, they're our first responders, and I believe we should make that move, so.
Well, so we're not going to address it as a budget item tonight.
No,
It's just something we discussed, so
Right, but I think we have to
nothing's
keep it
gonna
on.
change with the budget.
Kim, I'd like you to keep that under old business going forward each month,
Okay,
okay? So that we don't, as things get towards the end of the year, and,
I'll just list it as squad appropriation.
great.
Anybody else have any comments, questions? I just want to make a comment. Sitting up in the seat, you get a lot of contacts. People call you, people send you emails, running people at the store, and they're often asking to keep in mind either keep taxes down, or everybody has a different interest on what they want the money spent on. People with children, they want parks. People without children, they don't want parks. People feel, if they're not using the schools, they don't want to pay for the schools. We have people who came in and asked for us to fund school buses this year, and we didn't do it. And I know it angered some people. I guess my point is there's no way with a budget to keep everybody happy. But at least I'll speak for myself, and I think I speak for everybody up here. I don't think anybody makes the decision to spend or not to spend money lightly. It's something that's done with a lot of consideration. This budget is a 1% increase this year. We've already cut down to the 1 cent, so it's not like we just came in and said, oh, it's only a penny, go ahead and do it. It was up to like almost 4 cents, I think, at one time. We cut over $200,000. I don't think this township really has any excesses with the police department. Obviously, our biggest elephant in the room, might as well just say it and get it out there. Some people are not in favor of that as they speak. Other people love it. Police department in this township does not just enforce laws and investigate crime. They're the first responders for the fire department, the rescue squad, even DPW at times. They hold things down until they can get there. They're the go-to agency in this department. And I don't think we have too many guys to do the job. And we certainly need guys to make sure the ones who are working, there's enough to be safe. I think we at least owe that to them. The fire department has requirements, and we say no to a lot. You see the items that are there, but you don't see the items that we tell them that we're cutting. Same thing with the rescue squad. Everybody doesn't get everything they want. This is a process that's been going on since January. We've met here Saturday mornings and Thursday nights. But I just want you to understand that if you're upset over the penny, we didn't do it lightly. If you're upset that we didn't spend enough, we tried to do the best we can. But I just don't want you to think that any of you go unheard. I certainly have no problem with people calling or stepping up and expressing their concerns or complaints. But somewhere along the line, we have to hit the happy median and try to do what's right for the municipality, the people, and keep everybody in consideration. I always have said this many times here. I had a neighbor. She passed away in the last year. She was 102 years old. God bless her soul. I took care of her for years, helped her out. She used to literally cry when she got her tax bill that she thought she was going to lose her house. And I think of her every time we discuss taxes. It's not like I take it easily, and I know these guys, though. And I don't think it's an excessive budget. I think that a municipality this size Could we have probably cut some more? Yeah, but you're not talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's not that much left to cut. You're talking, we could probably sit here and argue and bicker and cut another 20,000, 30,000 before you're starting to jeopardize people's safety, before you're jeopardizing a lot of programs. And the people who can't afford it and are paying taxes deserve some good things and nice things, like a park, or they at least deserve this, knowing that they have the safety of a fire company to respond, or an ambulance in the middle of the night. So that's the balance that has to be hit. So I don't want anybody to think you're not heard, we're ignoring you, I hear you, but I feel this is the best we could come up with. So that's my comment.
Can I make a comment?
Well, not usually, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, you made your comments, so...
Well, you had your chance, but go ahead.
You get up here, I feel like, and most people tell me I'm wasting my breath, because you have your mind made up already. So you're really not taking into consideration what the public is really saying. That are good enough to come to this meeting and want some input. Just like a done deal. You're going to push it through. It's done. I don't even know why anybody even want to comment on this thing. It is because it's done. And you did say about the $2 million. I'm reading it wrong. If you adopt this budget, that's in here.
No, it's not. You can explain it.
What is the that here? It's a significant capital program.
Mr. Mooney will explain it to you.
Not for this year, but down the road, that's what you're proving here. It says $702,800 for fire department vehicles. That's one line. Well, police vehicles.
Mr. Sladen, will you let him answer? Let him answer you.
That's a capital plan.
Yeah.
That is not part of the budget. You need to include it with the budget. None of those numbers are being budgeted for in 2017. That's a separate plan that goes in the back of the budget that's required by the state to see what your capital needs are going to be going further. It's an informational type page only. It is not within the confines of the expenditures within the budget.
I think the only thing that's in the budget,
Is it being approved for the future? Is it going to-
It is a plan. There's nothing set in stone on this.
So it can
You
be
could
changed.
have $20 billion worth of stuff on there, but it really means nothing.
What's the 100,000 mean then for this year?
so we gotta put the 5% in our budget.
Yeah,
That's the only
that's
thing
why I
we
think
have
he's
to-
questioning why. That's what
The
he's questioning.
100,000 for capital, once you put the plan in place, you have to give an idea of how you're going to potentially fund it. If it's funded via debt, if you raise the 1.9 million in debt, total projects would potentially cost $2 million. You need at least 5% down. So where's the 5% going to come from? That's capital improvement fund. If they go through with, again, here's the
And
plan.
that's not being paid this year.
No, it is not, unless they decide to do that by ordinance later on in the year, but that is not in this budget.
Thank you.
Sure.
But to follow up, keep coming, because if you don't come and question, you're liable to get a group of people up here who won't care, and they'll push everything through, so don't think you're going unheard. With that, roll call.
Mayor.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes.
Yes. Police Department monthly report. Rich, you want to come up and give it? I didn't write down which one that was.
I normally write the
I
thing.
do, that's what I do.
Just add it in.
4, I believe.
It's behind, yeah, here it is, behind here.
Okay, again, briefly for the public, our call incident volume for the month of April is 917 calls. Georgetown calls, 56 squad calls, 35 burglary theft calls, 19 disorderly conduct harassment calls, 18 fraud calls, 56 motor vehicle accidents, 43 suspicious incidents, 12 adult arrests, 3 juvenile arrests. Traffic summonses a total of 123. 19 additional cases assigned to the theft bureau, 3 cleared. And that's about the highlights of last week.
I noticed from last year, April 2016 to this year, is 123 summonses compared to 30.
Yes, we've done 100
And I see there's twice as many calls in April this year than there was last year.
486 to 917, that's almost double.
And, yeah,
The calls is also self-initiated incidents.
were they not included last year, self-initiated?
No, they were included.
Okay, so it's a double, it's almost double.
I mean, their call volume is pretty much going to kind of stay the same.
Yeah.
Maybe plus or minus 100 calls, but
So I would say it looks like the morale of the department's doing well compared to last year this time, huh?
I would say it's fine.
And I just want to make note, when we're just talking about the budget, 56 first aid calls in a month, that's more than one a day. And these guys are the first ones on most of those calls, that's no slight towards the rescue squad, obviously, it's just that they have to come from home in the middle of the night, these guys are already out. And I'm sure in the course of the year, between Narcan and AEDs, they do a couple saves a year before the squad even gets there. So, I go back to, I know they're the biggest elephant in the room, but they're the go-to department in the community this size, so.
Plus also, we're probably going to start funding our own Narcan.
There's a whole bunch of new rules and stuff like that. I don't know all the details. Right now, Warren Hospital is still providing us with Narcan. I guess we're supplying the PD and they're supplying us. But that's right now, that could stop at any given time.
Just like the AED pads did.
Yeah. But, anyway, one of the citizens here recognized you just before you came in the room, and I have to echo her comments. Thank you for the good job you do. We appreciate it. And, again, I know the budget item is big, but I think we owe it to you to try to keep you as safe as you can as well. So, with that, you done?
I'm done. Thank
I make a motion to...
Hold on one second. Chief,
okay.
should I do this after? It doesn't matter. Is it possible to put down, how many times you used an AED and Narcan? I mean, it's a crisis out there with this heroin,
We
So,
can,
Is it
I can tell you roughly, I think we had 3 or 4 Narcan stays.
this year? Okay.
I'm thinking more than that, but okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, what,
By PD.
By the PD, they're there first, right?
Yeah, usage, I could find it out, I know what that is.
Are we violating anybody's,
No,
No?
just numbers, no,
No.
Yeah.
I can give you names for it, and you just tell me you use,
yeah.
certain applications or whatever.
Chief, this car's still on the road with 160,000 miles on it?
I hope that's a construction detail car.
That's your vehicle?
Holy crap.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, we only have, as of today, we only had 3 vehicles, aside of my vehicle, that were on the road today, because we have 1 vehicle in the shop right now, and then another one getting an oil change, so.
Well, now that the budget's passed, can he start ordering his cars?
Were the cars in the budget, or the cars?
No.
They were in the,
No.
Capital.
Oh, they're in the cap, yeah.
Not until you,
Right.
get spending authority later.
Anyway.
And with that being said, Chief, I spoke to the insurance company today about that car that's over there, and unfortunately, he didn't get back to me, but I told him that 3 weeks without sending an insurance representative is unacceptable. And I said, that needs to be fixed. I said, they need another 2 weeks to fix the car. You haven't sent anybody out to even get the ball rolling. I expect a phone call back tomorrow. I would have thought I'd have gotten one today, but I called him up and I said, 3 weeks is completely unacceptable to have a police car down. Not even looking at it.
Yeah,
Not even looking at it.
I appreciate that.
Okay. With that, I make a motion, we accept the police report?
Second.
Oh, no, I think we're done with comments and questions. All in favor? Oh, no. Roll call?
Kenya?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Good night, John. Thanks for everything. Okay. I have an appointment. I'd like to nominate Dawn Marie Condis to fill an open space committee appointment. I'll make the motion to appoint her. Any comments, discussions, questions? Roll call?
Kenya?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Spencer?
Stain.
Yes. Community Day, where are we at with that? Did we at least try to reach out to the amusement company so we could start the process on background check?
Contacted them, and they are going to be trying to put together a list that I can work with the chief to be able to, I gave them the date, the 23rd,
Okay.
What's the date?
September 23rd.
23rd of September, the 24th.
Community Day, September 23rd, for anybody in the audience. The reason we're bringing it up so early is we like to do background checks on anybody who's going to be working here and make sure we don't have any Megan's Law violators, so that's why we're doing it so early. Bill, do you have anything to report back on that? Have we just discussed anything?
No, I didn't talk to them. I'll talk to them on this week about Community Day.
Their request, they want to reserve the rides.
Oh.
The rides, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the rides, and all, the labels and the things that I normally would.
Yeah, we might as well do that before we lose that, so we got to do that by motion too then?
Yeah,
Well, can you reserve it and bring it for next meeting so we could approve everything at once?
I can get the quote then, and you guys can approve it. And then also the ponies, Swift Farms, I'd have to do background check on, but whoever comes in with that.
Yeah.
So it would be the ponies and the rides.
Okay, so for, try to reserve that for next meeting,
Okay.
okay?
You don't do any backgrounds on vendors, do you?
On any of my vendors that come in, no.
If you don't know one, you might as well do them on all, right?
Huh?
If you're bringing people in, you might as well do them on all.
What's that?
Doing background checks, if you're gonna do it on the amusement people and the people bringing in the rides and the games and the horses, why don't we do backgrounds on the vendors coming in?
Well, I think our concern is with the rides that they interact directly with the children, and, you know,
Face painters? People taking pictures? They're interacting with kids.
you know, we can discuss it, I guess. Memorial Day Parade. I'm going to a meeting tomorrow night on that. You have anything specific that Craig asked you to bring up tonight or anything?
No, we've already paid the donations, the town has paid the donation to the parade. I believe we paid the $500. So we took care of that. So the donation is there, it ends on March, lineup is at 9:30, it starts at 10 a.m. We need someone to carry banners, they're us. I'm not sure who the judges are, but they usually pick the judges.
No? Yeah, not learning anything more tomorrow, so. 10 o'clock Memorial Day Parade, so
Won't be it.
everyone's invited down. You gonna be out of town?
No.
No. Okay. Frank's not here tonight, so he asked me to bring up a couple of things on his list.
Let's see.
The first thing is we need to develop, he asked you, Mike, about a policy on advertising at the park, and
Yeah, I sent you that.
so that's something,
Yeah, I had sent him a memo before. Okay. And he had asked if we could sell advertising, you can, and we even checked with DEP, because I wasn't sure at the time if we had accepted DEP funds for that, and they confirmed it as well, have an applicant. So I think some of Frank's questions were, well, what if St. Luke's wants to, yeah, well, if they, whatever the amount is, just donate $500, St. Luke's can have a banner up there.
right.
Now, obviously, you can put restrictions on things like tobacco advertisements, alcohol advertisements. So I think, he hasn't asked me to develop a policy, I think we just wanted to discuss that.
Okay. Well, I think, I'll make a motion that we authorize the attorney to come up with a policy for advertising at the new park.
Second?
It won't take long.
Bill, second. Any questions, discussions, comments? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. The park sign, what's that, tab number 7. This is the one they liked, right, from the rec committee?
I believe so.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yes,
what was
yes.
sent to me.
Should hold it up.
Mike,
People on the floor, so anybody in the audience, yeah, okay. Okay. I think he needs a motion tonight to authorize that so they can get to work on that. Yep. I don't see Mark here, but,
No, the only, well, getting back to sponsorship, now, there is somebody that wants to make we'll pay for the sign over a couple of years. Is there going to be a problem saying this sign was purchased by
No, you could,
Okay.
you know, however you want to do it.
Right. They did it at the school.
Sometimes you have to hang under there and, you know,
Yeah.
buy whoever, absolutely you can do that.
The only thing that Frank expressed concern on is he wants to make sure that it's specific to the sign, so no one thinks that that sponsor paid for the entire park.
Yeah, any sign donated
Yeah.
by.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Okay.
And just so we're clear here, too, we may be, but we have always called out for a sign in the circle. As you, now that the stone is out there, you can kind of see, obviously, the way things they're going to be configured. Okay. You drive down the Entrance Drive and you get to the circle. And what we did with those rocks is we have that one rock, the front rock, which is there specifically to accept a placard at some point, like whether it's brass or whatever material we make it out of, and whatever message is on there and so forth. So that's a sign that has kind of always been on plans and is actually budgeted. In some preliminary estimates by our office. I think we said $5,000. That sign is the sign on Greenwood Street, as, you know, the entrance sign.
Right.
So just so there's,
Right.
you know, and whether or not we ever put something on that rock, I mean, I think we could do something nice with it, the way the rock is situated and the flat face it has and so forth, but, so, just for clarification, if there's any confusion on how many signs and where they're going to go and so forth, so.
Okay. So I think we're looking, I'll make a motion that we accept this design for the sign. And they could determine how they're going to word the sponsorship when the sponsor
Right,
comes
yeah.
through. So I'm going to make a motion that we accept this design for the sign at the park. Anybody want to second anything?
Second.
Bill, second. Any comments, questions, discussions?
Established, isn't it, 2016,
Uh,
when we started it?
Well, we started, it won't be dedicated to 17.
When we approved everything?
We actually approved the name in 16, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything was done in 16.
Sure, it should be 16, right? Okay.
yeah, that's what.
Good catch, Will.
That's what
The name's on it, so.
well, we broke ground in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah,
December.
yeah, and we named it in 2016, so probably, it was, so technically it was established in 2016.
2016 is when
Yeah.
things got broken.
Okay, graffiti ordinance. I know Frank's had questions on, things on
Yeah,
graffiti.
you don't have anything, I checked the code, you don't have anything in the code that deals specifically with, you know, it's not a graffiti ordinance, but your property maintenance ordinance certainly addresses it. So I did, I emailed him today and highlighted the provisions in there that says that you can't, you know, you have to maintain it, and it
Yeah.
specifically addresses paint and stuff like that. So clearly, if there's graffiti on the building and it's not cleaned up, that's a violation. So the clerk is the enforcement agent.
Do we have to
I think it's the old Arco station out by Omnitree, the old gas
Down
station.
the train, LA Fish got tagged again.
LA Fish, yeah, LA Fish was, they cleaned it up once, but
They
now,
got the
I-
backside of that one now.
yeah, but you know what I mean, the old gas station, it was between 22 when it was,
So I have to set, contact aid.
okay,
Contact aid.
okay.
Excuse me, Bob, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
before you get into the water line.
Yeah, I'm not going there yet, but go ahead.
Oh, okay, well, the only reason Kim, did we set up appointments for the IT
Yes,
at 7:30, 8, and 8:30?
one is not going to be able to make it.
Okay, but
Tonight,
I see Mr. Marrick's here from Twin Rivers. We told him to be here at 7:30. Should we listen to his presentation now?
Okay, let me do one more quick thing, though.
All right.
Booster Club for the park, we have to authorize them to sell these bricks. What do we need to do for that?
Yeah, I thought, just make a motion.
Just a motion, no resolution, no words?
Proposal, yeah, just, because the motion is the official action, the resolution is merely the record of the official action that was taken.
Okay.
It's different when it's...
So how am I wording this, if I make the motion to allow the Booster Club to sell pavers to be placed in Thomas Stewart Park?
Right, with the monies raised to be used for recreation programs.
Okay.
Can you
I make that
something
motion.
with the money, how we were gonna
I
collect
talked to
it?
John Mooney, and he said, I explained to him, and he said, look, as long as it's a 501c3, and that they're gonna handle the money, and that the money is gonna go back to And I think the gentleman from the rec commission at the last meeting said they were $50, $25 goes to pay for the brick, and describing the other $25 goes into rec. So-
Yeah, I'm just going by what she had that question last meeting about how the money was going to be handled and who
Yeah.
Yeah,
who
they're
would
gonna
hold
handle the
it.
money, from what John.
Right.
But John said it's an appropriate way to handle it, that's all we're worried
Yeah,
about.
I think the concern.
And we're okay with it.
And just, there were some emails flying around between the last meeting and now that Mr. Marqueta had
Mhm.
Marqueta had forwarded to me, and I I think I CC'd whoever was on the emails, I don't know if all the committee was, but,
Again.
you know, at the last meeting, all I said was, the question posed to me was, does this have to be approved by the Township Committee, which was affirmative.
Yeah.
So, the 501c3 is an acceptable way under the statutes to do it, under the auspices of the Rec Commission, provided that the money raised is going back into the, recreation programs within the Township.
Okay.
So, I would say what the motion is just conditioned upon the funds being raised, being placed back in the recreation program.
Okay. Well, I made that motion.
Second.
Any comments, questions now? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, anyone want to make a motion? We're going to contract, we're going to executive session. This,
Mayor, I just spoke with the attorney prior. He said it would be okay for them to do an open session just to get a 5-minute presentation.
Oh,
And then we can
that's
go
even better.
executive- We can go
Discuss
to discuss
all the proposals after everybody.
okay,
the decision.
okay. I guess you're the only one here, so you're up.
Yeah, I understand.
You just got over to the...
His contract's all the way in the back.
My name is Paul Merritt.
No problem.
Twin Rivers Committee. First, I want to thank you for allowing me on the IT support for Rankin Township. Twin Rivers Computing was established in 2001. We provide full computer support. We provide network support, server support, PC support, wireless, phone, even subcontract cabling and stuff. So we can do end-to-end support for your IT needs. We are a Microsoft partner. We are very familiar with Windows operating system, all the server operating systems, SQL Server, databases and such. We have a number of large customers in the area, including surgery centers, radiology departments, in multiple buildings that we connect that have approximately 6 servers and 75 PCs. We have sites, I can think of one, an ophthalmologist in the area, very similar to yours, 3 servers and 20 PCs, plus some smaller customers too. It's a whole line that we take care of manufacturers, we take care of property developers, medical facilities, doctors, and such. So basically, if you need a PC, if you need a server, we can install those, configure them. If you have a disaster, you have a crash or something like that, you can be right in, we can take care of that. Provide your backup, antivirus solution, malware solution, and then in the event that both malware and antivirus get see your server, we can take care of that. We can also do some basic phone support, we can function into the system, things like that. And mobile support, if you have phones, you need email, things like that on your phone, stuff like that. Basically, we're doing full service for most of your needs. And the other thing we can bring is we can also do cost-benefit analysis and such. We can, take a look at your existing equipment, take a look at new equipment, determine whether it should upgrade, whether it should replace. We provide all that information for you so you can make a decision on, where you want your IT.
You do all your own wiring?
The wiring, I generally subcontract out the person who runs the wires through the wall. I terminate them, and I test the cable once they're in. So I'll put the faceplates on, I'll put the terminating blocks on, I'll run it to the switch, and I'll run it over to the switch. But if it's something simple like that, drum field, run that wire.
How many employees you have?
Just me, occasionally I subcontract out some, when I get very busy, but usually I can handle most everything.
Do you have any municipalities that you work for?
No, I don't have any municipalities. Most of my business were doctors, hospitals, surgery centers. That has been changing
You did do some doctors though in the past?
I do a
So-
lot of doctor scale.
So you're used to confidentiality issues?
Oh, yeah.
More than usual, like what the police department were very concerned with.
Right,
that,
right. I'm
obviously.
very familiar with, and I have a business disclosure agreement that I have all my medical facilities signed for my company. If you wanted to sign something different than that, that's no issue.
To use those subcontractors, do 24-hour monitoring.
Yeah, 24-hour monitoring, we use a program called Spikeworks. It goes on all the computers. It'll email me or text me instantly if the computer goes down or the server goes down. It'll also daily give me updates of everything that's in that logs any problems, and that's very monitoring, yeah.
You're lucky tonight. The guy who's missing had an emergency. He's an IT guy. He's the one who would have been asking all the questions. I don't have anything else.
No, I'm good.
We appreciate you coming, discussing it with us,
Thank you very much.
and you'll be hearing from us soon, one way or the other, okay?
Okay, great.
Thanks a lot. Have a good night. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now I guess we're gonna get into the water line. At the park, so just so people know what we're talking about.
All right. We had originally designed a 2-inch water service to run from Greenwich Street to serve the park, primarily concession stand, obviously where toilets and sinks and so forth. We also had an extension off of that to serve what we hope to, some yard hydrants which would be utilized to irrigate the fields. And we had looked at that and spec'd it out, and it was workable and would have served the project fine. And I'm not quite sure exactly what happened. I wasn't here. There was a special meeting. I know Mr. Mex is here, so I'm sure he can fill me in and fill the public in. Joe, there was a meeting here last month between the Toy Meeting Township Committee and the Open Space Committee. So unfortunately, I was unable to attend. The representative from my office was here, and there was a request by Joe. I would say, Joe, in your capacity as the fire chief, of course, then the DPW suit, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
No on water.
Right. And Joe's recommendation and suggestion was to run a 6-inch ductile iron, more of a real water main, if you will, into the site, and that would obviously more volume, more pressure, and then off of that 2-inch service lines. Good one. Okay. Obviously, that wasn't in our spec or in the contract with our contractor, with Earthworks, so we sent him a plan, asked him to give us a change order. Well, I'll be honest with you, I said this to Jeff already, Jeff, the contractor. I was a little surprised at the number.
38,000.
Yeah, $38,000, which is the net, which is the gross for what he quoted. Okay, here it is. Broke it down into, length of pipe and hydrants and water meter pit, so on and so forth. Now, there's a credit to the $38,000, which we will get because his bid for the water service as it's designed now was $4,000 total. So that $4,000 comes off to $38,000. The bottom line is the net extra to the town is $34,400. So, I obviously wasn't going to unilaterally approve a change order of that magnitude. which led to waiting till tonight for you guys to make that decision. I'll say this, time is of the essence. I mean, I really, really, really wanted and hoped to have water out there when we seeded, so we could irrigate. That ain't happening. So now, hope for rain, Mother Nature be on our side, and we get that grass to grow. So that's the deal. I mean, Joe, please.
With that said, I got a copy, you forwarded it to me too. I didn't look for the 6-inch pipe to go 350 linear feet in there. It could be 50 feet off there. The key component to this is the metering pit, where you can break off your 2-inch lines, separate your sprinkler system, your service to the concession stand, and have a spot if you have a problem. It can be zeroed out and shut down without shutting the whole facility down. Don't need the fire hydrant. I said that the other day. There's public fire hydrants on the street side.
Yeah.
No fire hydrant. Everything that comes in from the curb to there is going to be paid for. It's going to be on a water meter. So if the sprinklers are flowing,
I'm sorry, I missed what you just said. Everything from the...
everything in from where the water company ties it in, going in, they're going to have a water meter out there. So all the water flowing, you're paying for it. Including the sprinkler. But like I said, if we have the metering pit come in with a 6-inch, 50 feet, 25 feet into the metering pit, the metering pit will be our position for future expansion, the sprinkler system to be tied in, the concession stand to have its own water service and stuff like that. Not a 350-foot, 6-inch line, a fire hydrant, metering pit, that stuff.
Yeah, I don't have that. I do remember him saying at that meeting there was no reason for a fire hydrant. Actually, he wasn't even concerned over the 6 inches other than that first 50 feet.
Correct. You get the 6-inch in there, and then you put a metering pit in there, we can put in the plumbing device, your service, shut-off valve to the concession stand, your sprinkler system. If this park is ever going to expand, we talked about the second sprinkler setup. It's good. Right now, they're talking about one of them roving things off the hydrant. Like I expressed right now, this in the spring, we're taking care of 2 lacrosse fields and 6 baseball fields throughout. We put the 3 baseball fields there. They need to be sprinkled. We got to run 2 sprinklers in the future of this thing. That 2-inch water line is not going to supply 2 sprinklers. They take an 1.5 or 1.75 line.
That was the other issue that Mark had brought up.
What this could possibly be. The metering pit would solve the issue. Be able to connect 3, 4 lines in this metering pit. Plenty of water.
But did Mark say that night, though, that he was concerned that the 2 inches wouldn't be able to feed the water in?
If we're running more than one sprinkler, which could possibly be for the future expansion of this, but there could be no issue.
I said before, the 2-inch line's way too small for even the sprinkler system they want to
I
use.
think it went from 4,000 to 38,000, though, 4
The
inches.
buildings
350
have
linear
these sprinklers
feet, that's
for
a lot.
fire protection, they're under the square footage and things like that. I'm just thinking, and like I said, if there's ever an issue, if something breaks, something gets a water hammer, you can shut it down, zone it out, and you're not shutting down the whole facility. We run just 1 2-inch water line in there, and then from there into the concession stand, that was going to be branched out from there. From there to the concession stand, we're asking for a big failure.
But that sprinkler they're using is 2 inches.
And with that being said, Mike, do you think his bid is high? I mean, I'm not in the water line business or anything else like that, but should we be looking at another contractor or two?
That becomes very problematic, and what we'd have to do, unfortunately, is actually put it out to bid.
No, well, exactly, that's what I was figuring.
So, I mean, you clearly would, for expediency purposes, want to authorize Jeff and Earthworks to do it. However,
Well,
You know, not with blinders.
no, well, with that being said, I was speaking with Joe earlier today, and we might have a temporary alternative that will give us a couple of weeks here and get water to it sooner. It's not an ideal situation, it'll involve a lot of volunteer manpower, but the fire department probably can get water to this park on a temporary basis, while we go through the motions of finding out if actually $38,000 is an excessive number.
Yeah, and, well, that, however that can be orchestrated would be great. Because, I mean, we all know, this is not, I didn't go to engineering school to tell you this. We start getting a lot of these hot days, bad.
No, what,
I mean, bad.
no, I understand, well,
We don't-
these next 30 days are super important.
90 degrees is not what we need right now.
Right.
For that grass to germinate properly. And then, let's be honest with you, that's what we built here, is all, I mean, it's mostly green.
Right,
And
yeah.
we needed to come in the way it should, per the seed spec we used. Okay. You know, Joe, and I'm not sure how we put this together. I mean, I know Joe Mendez from our office was involved. I know we talked to the water company. I think we actually talked to Jeff as far as locating some of this stuff, as far as the water meter pit and so forth. I mean, I'm not, you know, however we go, I'm fine with, first of all. And I'm not married to either, you know, option. I mean, you want to upgrade it, there's, Joe just rattled off a lot of good reasons why we can upgrade it, or should upgrade it. Now, the other part of it is,
Well,
we need to get...
I guess here's the question. Didn't we originally spec'd it out for 2-inch line, right?
Yes.
We knew we were gonna water the grass then. So why was 2-inch line okay then, now all of a sudden 2 inches is not enough?
In my opinion, the 2-inch line for this project, or what, we looked at those irrigation reels. We've talked to the manufacturer of those irrigation reels. It's based upon the 12-inch main we have and the pressure coming in, it's 2-inch copper as well, all the way. It's fine. You're not gonna have, you know, if we're running 2 at a time, maybe that's not gonna work the greatest. But you're not gonna run 2 at a time, because we're only gonna have one. So you're gonna go field to field to field to put those irrigation reels out there. So, what Joe's point goes, you have a yard width. If we're looking down the road and...
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
But that's gotta be substantially less than 350 feet of the 6-inch too, right?
What was that?
He's saying 50 feet of 6-inch into the pit.
Not
That's
even.
350 feet of 6-inch.
It's like 20,000 off the price.
I would think, I would hope.
Knocks you off like 15 grand. But then it increases the 2-inch a little bit, so maybe there's a
How did it
net.
increase to 2 inch when you just took 50 feet off the other part?
No, because then the 2-inch that's running from the meter pit is longer, right?
Would it be shorter because you're not running from the main?
No, because you're running it from the pit. You're gonna... He's got...
Originally it was 2 inches running straight in there, right?
Yeah.
So now you're going 50 feet
You
in
wanna
with
run it- I mean,
If you're taking
That's
50
the
feet from the
350
street
is
in,
150.
the 6-inch.
Right.
And then there's 300 feet of 2-inch, I guess, right?
No, 440.
Oh, okay.
Because here's the plan. I mean, for what it's worth, which is what we sent to Jeff
Okay.
for him to bid on. The bottom line is, we're saving a lot of money. I mean, we're probably down to, if the hydrant goes, all right, here, we're at 34.4 right now. And we're taking out the hydrant? Okay, okay. We're dropping the 350 for the 6-inch to 50. And let's assume everything else stays the same, roughly. Well, now we're down to, $12,000? $11,900. Let me double check that.
That's a more reasonable number.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's,
Judging by the $350 coming off with the
Yeah.
price, there's $20,000 off the bill. $11,000 is a big difference in...
Mike, didn't you say you already have the 2-inch copper pipe up at your place?
Yeah, we're storing the pipe.
But maybe you'd lose some of your credit and add that to the 440 feet. That would get you to the metering.
Yeah,
Take away some
but
of the
there's
credit.
2-inch that he already ordered for what is the current design.
Yeah, it won't
So-
have to be returned.
Right.
And just keep that.
It-
It's already.
50 feet.
inspected.
50 feet, that's a non-number,
Yeah. So you take,
50 feet.
You just dead
you
had the light on.
take the 34.4, you take the 15,000 off, which is the savings from the 350 lineal feet to the 50 lineal feet of 6-inch DIP main. Take the hydrant out of the equation, which is 7,500, yeah, 11,900. And everything else, 11,900.
About better than
So
38,000.
how about this, if we're comfortable, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth. I talk to the contractor tomorrow, hopefully. I see if he would be in agreement that he's just direct deductions and whatnot, and a modified cost, we'll say with a not to exceed amount of $12,000. Is that, and then we do the upgrade. So we have the 6-inch main coming in and have it as per Joe's recommendations. Does that sound okay? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Well, I mean, I hear you with the green. We have an investment there, so we got to protect the investment with getting water to it. So, but 35,000 was pretty high, I think. So,
Right. I mean, well, no, 12,000 is a whole lot more power. Well, that includes the deduction.
right. So we're looking for a motion for a change order to allow up to $12,000 to be spent on the water system for the new park.
I'll make the motion.
Bill makes the motion. Bill seconds. Comments, questions, discussions? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marson?
Yes.
All right, and with that being said, though, even if that gets approved, Joe, can we temporarily get water to that park at least one time? I mean, how do we involve Aqua and all that kind of stuff? Or can we just really tap into the hydrant one time and,
Yeah, unless somebody comes out and gives us correspondence.
all right, can you run that by your volunteers and all that good kind of stuff? Perfect.
Thanks, Jim.
Because these next 30 days are critical.
Yeah, and if, Joe, if you're gonna go out there and, you're speaking of manually watering the fields, like almost as a drone kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've gone through this in another town, so I think I know what we're thinking. Let me, I guess just let me know when that's gonna be, because I should probably at least stake out the corners of the fields, because the fields were seeded with the upgraded seed.
The plain surface.
The three
Okay.
field areas. I mean,
Okay.
everything was seeded, but there was, let's say, a special seed on the field areas versus, kind of a normal seed for everything else. So, at least you'll know where better to shoot the water. So, okay.
$1,000.
Okay. Okay, Will, you're up.
Joe, you want to do the DPW motion report, I think?
All right, I'll just go through some of the work, the general stuff we're doing. Of course, for recreation, as I explained before, take care of 2 lacrosse fields and 7 baseball fields, lining them, make sure they're ready to play. Building ground lines, we're 99% complete with the emergency generator, electrician's all done, DPW's finishing up. We poured, the side, replaced the sidewalk here with electric service, everything tied in. Hope to have the asphalt work done out here in the parking lot end of next week. Tom Stewart Park, I went out and checked the surveyed property line between Tom Stewart Park and the Wyndham Farms development, and we'll be using that, clearing that hedgerow as fill-in work through the summer and into the fall. So it'll be a slow process. We've got walking out there. There's probably 10 by 10 by 8 10-foot tall heaps of lawn debris, tree trimmings, and everything.
That ended up on town property?
4 piles, yes. Yes. Probably a lot of it was farm field and stuff. So that's gonna be quite intense when we start getting into it. I figure a lot of the saplings and stuff will take out, and we'll mow with the roadside mower. A lot of the bigger trees, I'm just gonna leave them there, trim them up nice, and use them as a natural barrier and stuff. Instead of just clearing it, taking tons of lumber out of there.
So is just residents dumping grass and debris back there?
What's that?
Residents just dumping the grass and debris in the hedge line?
Yeah.
Amongst
Yeah,
everybody
there's
here?
some grass in there, like I said, tree trimmings, there's a couple big piles along that area there. So we have that. Also, I have a Boy Scout doing an Eagle Scout project out rehabbing the park gazebo. He's going to start his work this weekend. One thing here I want to point out, truck 4, I told you needed a radiator, and we got a quote of over $5,000. Well, I completed the job for $2,800 in-house, saving about $1,100 in DPW budget. And we're going to start doing our storm drain repairs. I have quite a few with some large holes, and laying out some of the small paving projects DPW does for some time. Thank you.
Joe, DPW storage building,
Yes,
where do we stand on,
you guys have to approve the money.
okay, so the
That's where we
plans, the
stand.
building's already been picked out, everything's ready
I
to go?
got specs and just have to get it forwarded to Mike so we can start putting the spec together. But without money, we put a spec together, but it's not
I think that was in our, bond thing.
Yeah, it's in our bond, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're gonna have to do that for the June meeting. I mean,
That's gonna be paid off with,
oh, it's gonna pay off with
Insurance
insurance
fund,
money,
so-
yeah. So out of that $2 million that, he's shaking his head over there, we're getting money back from the insurance company. Yeah, it's gonna take a chunk out of that $2 million bond. You had a bond for that, and then we get the money back, so.
Wasn't that last year?
Last March, so yeah, so we're going on 15 months that we haven't had a storage facility.
Joe, did you want to talk about, I know you weren't here last month, was this employee thing with the stipend?
I think it's in the executive for right now.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Make a motion to accept the report.
I'll second. Any questions, comments? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marson?
Yes.
And a motion to accept the animal control's monthly report for, April.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marson?
Yes. You done, Mike?
I have to ask her about this question. For when she traps the cat, you get it neutered before you get it back.
Yeah. There must be a program for that, because I see she references that often.
Yeah. $3,000.
Okay. Bill, you're up.
Okay, tax collector report on tab 4. I'll make a motion to accept her report.
A second.
The final payment for
Yeah.
the payroll was due on May 1st.
Yeah, you want to read that out?
Total current, this is sewer, year-to-date, $187,130.92. And then where does she have her?
payment to the school, wasn't it?
What's that?
Then she has the payment to the school?
Yeah, but that we paid, we approved that under the,
Yeah, the bills.
yeah, so there was a reason with that. So that's the motion.
Motion to accept your motion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll second.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marson?
Yes.
Recreational booster club pavement program we already discussed. And then the only other thing I have is Thursday, June 15th, is the promotion ceremony at the middle school. Kim, is that our monthly meeting?
Oh, yes, it is our monthly meeting.
June 15th.
June 15th, yes.
Okay. Can you let, I'll give you this,
It is going to.
let them know that, give them up anyway.
You know what? I don't know if I'll be here for, the meeting. I can bring that up. That can work.
Was it graduation that night?
Yeah, no school.
Oh, okay. No, that's all I had.
Yeah, we can bring it up later. I mean, you could hold a meeting without me. I'm not that liable. You're done? Okay, Paul, you're up.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept the emergency squad's year-end and annual budget report.
You made the motion, I'll second that report.
Any comments, questions? Everybody have a chance to look at it?
Yeah, I did, but I'm gonna make a comment. If I can find it.
Tab 4,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was-
middle.
Gotta start putting tabs in the tabs.
Okay, so last year's actual budget was $64,302, and it's going up to $113,450.
Well,
That's because of the roof,
the roof,
and there's another new equipment of 15, went from 20, almost 2,400 in equipment last year to 15,000 this year.
well, unfortunately, pagers, radios, and things like that, yeah.
You know, the new ambulance is gonna require a $20,000 stretcher, I believe that's what you said.
That is
A
correct.
stretcher, $20,000 for one stretcher. And by law, we have to have that stretcher. It's not like the old days where you bent down and you picked up the stretcher. Back in the 70s when I was on the first aid squad, when you only needed, what did you need back then? Advanced 2, I believe. You didn't need anything else, so, you know.
Wasn't horse and buggy?
No, it wasn't horse and buggy back in the 70s, okay? You're talking 50s and 60s. So, here you can see, their budget is almost doubling this year, okay? And, again, you know, they're out collecting, they're doing fundraisers, and, you know, I think the town just needs to support them.
Well, and with that being said, you gotta remember, we're working on 28,000, the town used to give us 36,000.
Right.
So we've been, you know, that's a significant piece, and I don't wanna jam up, the residents at all, but that number's considerably down on, local donations, and our call volume is clearly up. So, it's a challenging combination.
Paul, I'm gonna ask you a question real quick with the budget for the squad. Do you, or does the township pay for any kind of immunization shots, hepatitis vaccinations?
Yes, yeah, they do. We're probably not taking full advantage of that situation, but we're trying to kind of make that right in our own house right now. But yes, we were trying to do it through the county health department in the past, which saved considerable. It's just not very convenient. You know, you run out to the doctor's inn, or even Dr. Batiste or Grubb or whatever. The costs are there. We were trying to do it through the county, but that program has never really worked out well for us.
I know, Village Medical gave us a hell of a deal when I did the police department and everybody over in Lopat.
Lopat.
It was like half price.
Okay, well, we can certainly look into it, because there's been a little introduction of some new membership of late, so
Okay.
we need to get that straightened out, but yes.
St. Luke's want to look for, free?
I've never approached them on the subject matter, so maybe, maybe not. You know,
Another thing-
we're at the conversation,
Yeah.
can't hurt.
You're 100% volunteer. Can you charge the insurance companies?
No.
Why not?
There's a lot of rules. It would take a long time to explain.
Okay.
It changes our status as a squad. There's lots of things that, it would just change a whole set of rules, and things of that nature. There are some squads that are effectively doing it on a part-time basis, but again, it's a whole new set of rules. You also lose state funding for, EMT classes and recertifications and things of that nature. It's not, it'd be nice to say that, and eventually, maybe one day, but not right now.
What other squads around town, in the county, are 100% volunteer?
Well,
Or just around this area?
Franklin?
Well, Franklin, but again, they don't answer daytime calls. Well, they've got 3 other organizations, us, Hampton, and Washington cover them. Belvedere is pretty much, well, you're not. There's no, at that point, we're it.
Yeah.
We're it. Everybody else, it's too, Belvedere's not coming to Stewartsville. And they are a volunteer squad, but Oxford is a volunteer squad. Maybe Independence, Blairstown, and then it kind of stops. But isn't Blairstown charging now, though?
They have 2 companies.
Yeah, so there's not many.
And on your annual budget, I know it's not the list of all your calls. What was the percentage? Was it close to 100% that you answered in 2016?
Yeah, it was, I think there was 2 or 3 calls that we didn't make. And for all I know, 1 or 2 of those calls could have been taking place while we were on another call.
Right.
Which is exactly what happened
And how
today.
many calls did you,
6:30 and change?
so,
Wow.
a little less than 2 a day, right? 365? Okay, I think that's it.
Okay. Will we ever make the motion to accept that report?
We were up to comments.
Okay,
Right.
Yeah.
So roll call for that one.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's see, I believe I need to make a motion to accept the monthly court report.
Second.
And again, the fonts are small again, so I will request over at Bohat, make them a little bit bigger, but it is readable.
Well, maybe not now. I read it, like I told you, early in the morning.
Yeah.
My eyes are better then than they are at night.
Oh, yeah. I'll second it.
Question? Will, already did.
Oh, Will,
Questions,
okay.
questions, comments? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Dorsey?
Yes.
Okay, and we need to,
We did the tonnage, this grant, right?
where is that tonnage resolution?
Number 2.
We already did
I
that.
Oh, we did?
I did that one in the end, yeah.
Okey-doke.
At the beginning.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay, not a problem.
You done then?
I am done.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, now, before we get to Mike, I believe the next IT company is here, Kim, correct?
Yes,
For 8:30?
yes.
No. Okay. Where's that? Let's see. Go on up to the podium, give your name and company, and tell us about your company.
And tab 10 is where the proposal
We've been working with the township since right around 1999 since that, and then I worked in the technical support services. In 2005, I bought out the IT division to take support services from the solutions. We're currently on the tail end of a 3-year IT services contract, obviously that's why we're here today. And really, is there any questions that you may have?
What's $1,000 a month get us for your basic charge?
On our current contract right now, we have our backup disaster recovery solution in place. They include 24/7 monitoring of all the computer systems. Includes 8x9, 8x9 software. Also is including 5 outages.
Any additional money you're charging us right now?
That's for hours over 5 hours. Currently, the 2016 months have averaged 12.3 hours, or 12.6 hours support.
So you're charging us about $1,600, $1,700 a month?
roughly depending on the amount of support needed.
Is there a lot of support that's needed with the service that we have?
Day-to-day support, general questions, there were some projects, there was a server rollout last year, the place service for police department, that took some extra time. There was no server we phased out for the police department last year, that we virtualized it, and just general technical support.
Yeah, there's a cost there.
So your proposal, I don't see any...
Now, in your proposal, it's 16 desktops. Are you limiting everything to that 16 desktops? If we're at the 18 this year, is that going to change your fees or anything like that?
At this point, we're going to go with a couple of desktops that we can go on. If we're double the size of the desktops, we're going to have
I got two.
Oh, no, there's a bunch.
Okay.
No.
I like...
You want to look at this real quick?
Is it? Yeah, you got it?
Yeah, you guys shorted. And that's the other two companies in there too.
Yeah, no, I got it. Thanks, Paul.
Right now, with the backup disaster during the place we have in place, would be within half an hour of after service. Locally, if the building would burn down, we do have all the data replicated out to the cloud on a regular basis. We can virtualize the server in the cloud, so within about an hour. So if the building burnt down, we could, get you access to your data within an hour.
And all new computers and printers are purchased through you, or?
They have been.
Anything else?
So you said here, orthonic wall is coming to the end of life. So is that going to be an expense that's under your contract, or are we going to purchase the new firewall?
The installation of the firewall would be continuing the contract hardware would be something.
Okay.
And also the police department servers out of date?
The primary server the police department has right now is not 6 years old, so it's currently functioning properly, but it's 6 years old, so they want to consider
Roughly.
that size server, you're looking probably about $78,000. And that would be for a new server with a 5-year warranty to match the capacity.
And that's just one server, right? Does each department have their own server, or does...
Police department actually has 2 servers, one for managing the department and one for the license plate reader. There's the township that wants that server. And that server was replaced in 2014. And it's under 5 years warranty.
That's coming to the end of the year and a half.
And now the
So we're going to have an expensive year.
Is there anything that's cloud-based that, we don't need the server here anymore, and it's just in that imaginary cloud, everything going to?
there is options for that. Something along that lines. My experience has been, especially in the township, everybody likes to have everything in house, down the cloud. So we can focus on that direction. Otherwise, though, I would did mention the proposal about cloud-based email services. I know the police department has some issues off and on with their email system, and I would recommend maybe looking at something like Office 365 email services.
And what do they use now?
Currently, they use Office email and network solutions, and that's been in place under the 10 years.
That's pretty old, isn't it?
So what would it take to go to Office, what's it, 2013?
Office 365.
Yeah.
We actually did this implementation from Laurel and Alpha. It was, mailboxes were $8.95 a month. It was, for mailbox, which includes the USB export. The migration of that, the particular system took us about 10 hours of the project for that.
Something that you consider.
Another benefit of the Office 365 is archiving. We're able to email a long period of time and get your request to have it complete.
Okay?
That's frankly, I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're done. Frank, here's our IT guy. If he had any emergency, he couldn't make it, so, he may follow up with questions or something. We'll call it by phone if he has any, so, back in the program, okay? Thanks for coming.
Okay, thank you very much.
You'll hear from us, okay? We're up to you, Mike, right? Great. Well, Paul, you were done, right? Yeah, I was done. Okay.
Okay. Before we get to a couple items in my report, there's two other sewer matters I'll bring up to the committee. Excuse me. One is, as I think you're aware, our current sewer O&M contract with Chapman is going to be expired soon. We're putting it out to bid again, as we have in the past, and it's for a 2-year contract, option for a 3rd year. We're bid opening set up before the June meeting, and hopefully we will be able to award a contract at the June meeting, which is perfect because it's the Chapman contract expires like at the end of June. So, talking to Brent Carney, worst case scenario, we don't get any bids, there's all effective, whatever, we can extend the existing contract with Chapman. But just so FYI, next month hopefully we'll be awarding a new contract, and that bid is out. Okay, that's sewer item 1. Sewer item 2 relates to a request that was just made of the township for sewer capacity, and that is for the future county library at the Polaris site on Route 519. Even though I was not present, I understand that an approval from Bob, you were there, you're probably the only one in the room that was there, that both preliminary and final site plan approval was granted by the Land Use Board last Thursday to the project, which allows them to petition the township for capacity, which they need. That's the first step in the process for securing capacity in Greenwich. It's obviously in a sewer service area. There's a main that runs right down 519. It's a pretty easy connection. And we have a process that's, well tested. I haven't had one in a while, but, so, all I would, and I did speak with Brent about this as well today, the only thing I would be asking of you tonight is to authorize the sewer subcommittee, and that will be primarily Brent and Dan Mack, to proceed forward with the process to allow Polaris to purchase this capacity from the township, which equates to about 2,000 gallons per day, just FYI. That's the request. So, any questions about,
You need a motion for that, then?
Yeah, a motion.
To authorize...
They're in a big hurry.
Yeah.
So the fact that we can get the process started really a week after approval kind of saves them, in essence, almost a month. So there'd be a motion to authorize the...
Sewer attorney and...
Professionals, yeah. to start moving forward with the process. And they have posted escrow monies as well, okay, for this. There's an ordinance we have that regulates this process and how it works, so.
I'm just going to throw something out there, Mike, just out of curiosity. Suppose we don't, or do we have to?
No, I don't think you have to. And suppose you don't. I would think there would probably be two options. A, they would say, okay, I guess we'll have to go septic and play nice, or they would litigate. I think, if I'm just brainstorming here. But, I mean, it is in the sewer service area. There's a main already run right out front.
Isn't there some capacity in there already from when it was Superior Court?
3,000 gallons.
There's not.
They were never hooked into the
Never.
sewer system?
They're septic.
Yeah, it's only the septic.
So what's in it for the taxpayers? We're losing that rateable, which is $60,000, that all of us here have to make up. Okay, number one. Number two, they banged us for another $60,000 or $80,000 on Greenwood Street. Before we get approval, before I vote for approval, I want something in return. So, Mike, can you go talk to them, or, have them come sit down with us?
I think probably it would be better if Brent talked to them as the sewer attorney, right?
Well, I would almost think it might be better for one or two of you guys to talk to a freeholder. To be honest, we're talking, I had this conversation with Mike.
First of all, I certainly don't think we wanted to build a septic system there.
No.
So, we don't want to go septic.
But we got an $80,000 expense on their county road.
But secondly, I don't know if trying to tie in reimbursement for something like that in order to grant capacity is very kosher.
Well, no, and I think the problem is if you have the capacity to give, also, I don't know where the main is in relation to this property, but I know there's
Right up front.
Right.
There's an administrative code section that says that if you're within X number of feet of the main, you have to.
I don't know, and I don't feel comfortable putting a quick throw out there. Well, we'll give it to you if you...
No, well, it's just that I personally have never been for this $6 million library that's being built out there.
Which ironically equals the 1 penny we're raising back.
The fact that we've lost the money and things like that, and it just set me here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, could we derail this project? I keep $66,000 of tax money on the books.
I don't know that it's appropriate to fight on this issue.
Well, I
think we have a fight. I'm willing to go and negotiate with the freeholders over the loss of the income, tax income to us, and the added expenses they put on the park for us. I've already briefly spoke with them. They have sympathy for us. They understand what they did. I don't know that. I don't feel comfortable withholding sewer capacity for that bargain.
I feel very...
That's my opinion, so I have no problem with that.
No, I don't have a problem. I'm going to talk to them again because it started last year when we spoke with them too. But our land use board banged them over $40,000 in fees already, so it's getting pretty equal with everything.
It was just supposed to add maps and everything to the sewer.
I go with the theory you get more with honey than vinegar too. So if we're going to go, if you're going to withhold, I don't think it's a neighborly way to do it. Considering it's a governmental agency, we would never even think of trying to say that to a developer. I don't think that. Hey, if you give us $200,000 cash, we'll give you.
I'm not asking for any cash. I just want them to take, to cover the $80,000 expense that they laid on us.
So it's in kind, but it's still...
Paul, the other thing too is don't forget that property's still in tax appeal too. So so we could lose a lot.
But, right. I understand the fight, I just don't know if this is...
No,
I don't know if this is where we want to set up the fight.
I'm not looking for litigation, I understand that.
I don't think any of us are, but I think...
This township's had way too much litigation.
Okay, well, with that, I will make the motion that we authorize the sewer attorney and engineer to initiate the process to give sewer capacity to the county for the new library, for them, authorize them to purchase the capacity for the new library. That's my motion, and I'm looking for a second.
I'll second it.
Any discussions or
This is just to give the attorneys authorization to come up with the proposal or whatever.
Well, it's not, I wouldn't even put it that way, Bill. All this does is it starts the wheel of progress towards the securing of this capacity. Let's use the 2,000 gallons per day, assuming that the calculation is correct. Okay. Basically, Dan Mann's got to do his little prorated analysis, determining, okay, we're going to, from Toll Brothers, we're going to get X gallons, from Dow, we're going to get Y gallons, from, and the list goes on and on to all the users. And what that corresponding dollar value is to repurchase that capacity. We send a letter to Polaris. Let's say it's, make it easy math, $20,000, 10 bucks a gallon. Polaris sends us a check for $20,000. We put it in the escrow. Then we send out, and that we is pretty much Brent and Kim, the letters to these various existing sewer users that say, okay, if we don't hear from you in 45 days, we're going to pay you $5,000 for X gallons of unused capacity, and we're going to take it back. We're going to acquire this from all these people. We're going to get the 2,000 gallons at the end of the day, and then they get it. That's the process. And it's going to take 2-3 months because of the 45-day notice and waiting to get the letters out, and certified mailings coming back, and so on. It's kind of a pretty peculiar process, but it works. So there you have it.
I still think we need to sit with them on Greenwood Street, the issue on Greenwood Street.
I agree,
You know?
I agree, but I don't think we should hold the sewer hostage to do that.
I'd like to hear from the public, so maybe when we come back to public comment, maybe there'll be some sticking around.
Okay, roll call.
Kenya,
No.
Dean,
Yes.
Spencer,
That's a thing.
Do we have a quorum?
We still have a quorum, but,
Well, shall we face the vote first?
wait, this is just, no, but his abstention as a recusal doesn't count towards the quorum, so you still have
Okay.
a quorum.
Okay.
It's got a 2-to-1 vote, but you have a majority voting, so it's just a resolution or a motion like it passes. Get an
Okay.
ordinance, you would need a,
Supermajority, or?
I don't want to get down in the weeds too much, I'll leave that to the engineer, but basically you need, after a public hearing, even if you had a quorum, you still need a majority of the entire board in order to pass it, but in this case it passed.
Yes.
yes, I was thinking.
And the public also needs to realize that it's going to be a bigger burden on the police department, the fire department, and the first aid squad. And again, we're out $60,000 in a radar, you know. There's nothing we can do about that because there's a government agency coming
I
in.
would say this, and Bill, I hear you, and I hear you loud.
Every county seat has this problem. Now we're getting a county.
I would strongly encourage, maybe you and Bob, as whatever, to set up a meeting like so, with probably maybe.
I had spoken to the superintendent.
Jason, maybe.
Well, I spoke
or-
to Alex already, and he had spoken to Rick, and they're gonna listen. They're gonna meet with us, and they're gonna discuss.
Yeah, I think they're gonna try to.
Yeah, done it once already with us, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna ignore us. They're gonna, okay.
All right, I guess we done?
Yeah, I'm done, you're done. And we're on to the
Okay,
township. Oh,
so those are my
I thought you were done.
sewer items.
That was the sewer items.
We're not in my report, that's okay, we'll be pretty quick. All right, Tenant report last week. Let me ask you this, relative to the roadway improvement, program. With the budget, is this year's monies available now? That wasn't the capital that wasn't something you're looking to bond, right?
No, that was deferred. That was deferred tax money, right? The 250 you're talking about?
Yeah.
So that's
available
That
now.
should be available now.
all right, because Joe and I have talked about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So we need to basically wrap up the new last year, and I've explained that situation to you, and obviously look towards this year. Okay.
Yeah, just check with Kathleen.
We'll keep it
Yeah.
posted. I
Especially
have
at the
it,
third
actually.
school tax, so that's going to go for 4 to 5 years.
Right.
All right, the OU2 project, actually, I attended a meeting with the mayor and some representatives of the EPA a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, and I'll let the mayor to talk about it if he'd like.
Well, you
But
could
projects-
summarize, it was more your language than mine,
No,
but
projects.
I was just shocked over where the pollution came from. I always thought it came from a different site.
Where was American Can, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my current next door neighbor, at my office.
Right.
Yeah.
Things come from the landfill.
And our neighbor.
Yeah, I always thought it was
Yeah.
different.
It's the benzene or whatever they were using to clean all the metal.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
So,
Landfill's a
moving
lot of
forward,
shit.
it's not obviously gonna happen this year, but it probably will get started next year.
I think spring of next year, they're hoping to start the project, yeah.
So,
We're going to send them a letter.
Yeah.
oh, that's right, did they talk to you then, and, or
They're going to get stuff together.
they're gonna get stuff together? Okay.
And you know, how this works too, he probably knows, but I found it a little strange. The EPA oversees this project. It's up to American Can to actually hire the contractor to do all the work. And they make sure it's done according to the remediation plan that the EPA and American Can agreed upon. So it's not like the EPA goes out and awards a bid and these people are working for them. They're working for American Can, or there's a new company bought them out.
Yeah, it's a Rio.
But they had a rep here. She said they do it all the time. She, you know, buying
How many homes
factories and stuff.
affected?
133 or 100?
Yeah.
Not in our township. I think total, wasn't it?
No, that's ours.
Is that all of ours? Okay.
Franklin has quite a few more than we do.
So you can hear Breckenridge kids.
Yeah.
So.
And
that was-
then, after this project is complete, we need to discuss the road, getting those roads fixed. Penn Center hasn't had a road.
Oh, yeah. Well, there are gonna be
25
some,
years.
obviously, resurfacing done in conjunction with that project. But yeah, until that's, like,
Yeah, clearly.
in Pace Center, yeah, obviously, you shouldn't look at doing anything until that project's done. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the old school.
Oh, yes.
Last 3 months, as you recall, we didn't receive any bids or submittals on our RFQ. I did happen to run into someone, just coincidentally, that researched it and was gonna bid. So I'm like, why didn't you bid? And they said, because it was gonna take too long to get all the pro formas and all the economic data together. Because we had asked, that was part of what we had put together, as part of the RFQ. So, in any event, that was just a one coincidental comment I had.
Did your brother ever follow up on anything? I don't normally ask that when we talk, but... Well, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to.
He has expressed some interest.
Okay. So, he's the guy to contact, okay? She had told me when they were just speaking in private that her brother may be interested in...
Oh, okay, I didn't know if you'd asked, okay.
So I think at the last meeting, I suggested we either tear it down, auction it off, or sell it.
Or contact
Well,
Mark Reed.
Oh, what?
We were gonna look at...
Yeah, I don't know where, you know,
No, what we concluded was that Mr. Lavery was going to do a little deed search to make sure there was no restrictions placed upon the use. And then it got, so that was step one, before your step two, before we potentially go out to bid again. with too big a turn. So, like,
I think the bidding's over with. I think we just need to,
Yeah,
it's one of
so
those three options.
we got the search in, and for some inexplicable reason, block 23, lot 12, there was another deed in the mix. There was an easement, I guess, that was granted to the town, or back in 2003.
Or no,
It was 2007.
Yeah.
So the searcher picked that deed up and didn't go, and so that was just, like I said, that's not, the school lot is 23, lot 12. So, for whatever reason, this easement that was acquired must have been added to the property, the lot line adjustment was done, and didn't say, and it said it was block 23, lot 12. So I think the searcher was a little bit lazy, and then it didn't go beyond, well, that's the lot, block, I don't know why it go beyond that. In any event, I spoke to Mike about it, and by the way, I just got the search in on Tuesday. I sent it over to Mike, I talked to Mike about it. His office actually had the deed from when it was transferred from the school to the town. We had the face sheet, there was nothing on there that said there was any restriction. I called the title company up and said, I realized that you did what I asked you to do, which is 2312, but that's not the right deed. You know, why it wasn't, didn't say a portion of 23, lot 12, or whatever, doesn't really matter at this point. So they put a rush on it, so, because really, I'm not as concerned about that deed, but there might have been restrictions in the deed from whoever sold the property to the school originally, so we need that backup. So supposedly I should have that in the next couple of days. But
So what did we do back in 2007? Was that for the Raina?
Yes.
Access to the Raina?
What it was, that we basically dedicated right away.
Right.
For Rain Away, what is now Rain Away.
Right.
So, that's what the title company found. So,
yeah, usually what you would do is you would either, it would be a different lot and block number, or you would say a portion of block 23, lot 12. But the deed, for whatever reason, just says it's block 23, lot 12. Searching went back, got the deed that we asked for, and that's not.
yeah,
And then Mike was able to fill me in and say this was the Raina property, that was like a alleyway or roadway. There was a restriction in that said you couldn't park cars within the easement, but other than that, there weren't any other restrictions. And your office had the front page of the deed, but we didn't have the rest of it.
So we're not gonna be able to do anything on
Not
site?
gonna do that.
Okay.
So Kim, keep that under old business, so we don't lose track of it.
all right.
Old
there's
school.
Old school. Okay, the park, and I know we've talked about a few things already. Just so you know, which if maybe you haven't seen it yet, earlier today, I sent a package to the county, speaking of same, with some revised plans and some cover letter, kind of addresses some old comments that have been hanging out there, just to kind of wrap things up because we're gonna need to pull an access permit for phase 2 and the actual paving the driveway and so forth. So, that was sent out. Oh, most important. Oh, how could I forgot this one also? Phase 2 is out for bid. I'm sure you saw the email on that as well. The bid opening is set for, I think it's June 7th. Got all the architecturals from Mark Segota. They're incorporated into our plan set. The plan set is actually 22 pages long, which includes Mark's architecturals. Wednesday, June 7th, 10 o'clock here, there will be the bid opening. We've only gotten a couple people so far to pick it up. It's not nearly the activity we got with phase 1. Still a lot of time left. And that will give us about a week to digest what we got and be in a position to maybe award something at the June meeting.
What's the rough estimate? What's your rough estimate?
Of cost? I would actually like to show you, Will, because we set this up, like I've never done a bid before in my life. There are 13 alternate bid items, and the purpose of that is to potentially segregate costs. There's some base items that have to be done. The excavation for the walking paths, the well, no, not even, like, the landscaping's and all. In other words, okay, we're gonna get a price for the landscaping, but if we don't wanna pay $50,000 for the trees, then we're not gonna leave them out. It gives us a lot more latitude to award a contract with kind of a cut and paste, almost a Chinese menu kind of thing. And what we also did is we set it up, and I thought this was actually pretty smart on our part, if I say so myself. We have a base bid for all the items. Now, if we want to do the whole shoot match, including the concession stands, all the trees, we want to pave all the parking lots instead of just the main access, all the above. Or we separate it and we can actually choose the concession stand contractor as a prime. It gets a little complicated from a public contract standpoint, but that's why it's hard to answer your question, not to be evasive, but I mean, if everything,
So what's the range from?
I think the range goes from probably 300,000-400,000, which not going to get you some things you want. No doubt about it. It's probably close to 800,000-900,000. I mean, and again, that's like no paving at all, no wall. I mean, the finished product between the 300,000 like low end versus the 900, like kind of like you got everything, you got the concession stand, everything's paved and it's all nice and all. You got the 200 trees and everything. There's a big difference in what we're going to get out of it. You know what that park will be.
That's plus engineering fees,
Yes.
which is another, what, 100,000?
Well, no. At this point, no. At this point, it should be. We got to take it through construction. Maybe
Was it
40?
100?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions on the park? I mean, obviously, we've talked about the park all morning. Good? Everybody good? And then, that concludes my report.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion to go into executive session?
We want to pass the county,
Oh,
a resolution?
geez, Mike. I forgot about that. Oh, you know what, before we go, Mike, I did want to bring up one thing. At the land use board, talked about the setback changes from that ordinance that was introduced.
Good job.
This is all I want to say about it is the setback ordinance, we had first reading last month, about 5 feet from all properties for all sizes. Land use board wants us to reconsider, like maybe 5 feet for under like half an acre, so 10 feet for over an acre or more, that type of thing. What I'm going to suggest to the committee to do, I want to ask you, you think by the July meeting that you can have those changes? So then we just won't do the second reading of that ordinance, and that night we're introducing new ordinance. But I want to get this done, because otherwise it's going to be a year since people came in and first brought up that setback issue. So I guess what I'm saying is I want to accommodate the land use board, but I want it done as quickly as possible. You tell me if it can be done in 60 days.
Yeah, well, yes, because this is not rocket science.
Okay.
But B, and more importantly, maybe you give you a little more comfort in this. I think that the problem we were having with Indian City's permits was related to Greenwich Chase and Wyndham Farm, because there was no setback.
Correct.
To a flaw, but we do have one now. It was in the end of 2016, we adopted an ordinance establishing a 5-foot setback for Greenwich Chase and Wyndham Farm for accessory structures. So that problem doesn't exist right now. We're good.
I understand that.
Oh, okay, well then.
Well, this is like the 5th time I had this conversation with you. I argued this point last fall. when we did that. I said, we need to address other small properties in the township. And at that time, you said it would be very convoluted, difficult, all this. So we said, for now, we're past that to accommodate these people. Now, this is the third or fourth time in 2 weeks I brought it up to you. And I'm just telling you this. I'm gonna make tonight, I'm gonna say we don't vote on it. But if you don't have a good comeback by July, I'm gonna have the second reading, and it's gonna go through the way it was submitted to the land use board. That's the plan with it.
That's okay.
So I guess I'm asking, can you work with
Yes.
Sen and have an answer for this?
Yes.
That's all I'm
Yes.
saying.
And I'm sorry, I guess I'm so clued into, like,
The park.
well...
No,
okay,
he's
yeah,
clued into Wyndham Farm, the Wyndham Farm,
big developments and
Yes.
zones, not some of the properties that Bob is talking about.
Yes.
So, you're right, Bob, I think I'm missing...
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not close, I get it.
Okay,
It's
so-
easy to do, very easy,
So,
no problem.
we're going, so anyway,
Got it.
I'm gonna hold off as long as everybody's okay with the second reading on that. But it comes July, but you might luck out into August, because we might talk later about maybe not having a meeting in July. But by July meeting, if you don't have a good comeback, I'm gonna read part two. That's the pressure I'm gonna keep on land use
I don't
board.
want to, don't think of...
You can send a letter indicating, right?
But what we're going to want to do is make a motion to carry the public hearing, which is going to be tonight, to the July 20th meeting. And then,
Well,
we gotta pick a date.
We gotta pick a
July,
date,
August.
yes.
Shouldn't we, well, the motion be to kick it back to the land use board for that, no?
No, because what the mayor is saying is, they've already proposed an ordinance, they sent it to the land use board.
Right.
If you bring up a new one with changes, then they will introduce the new one, and we'll do the first reading, and then there's public hearing. I think what he's saying is, we're gonna carry the one that we've already introduced to that meeting to make sure that we have a response within a reasonable amount of time. So, the only thing is, we have to pick a date, so whether it's the July meeting, which is July 20th, or the August date,
Well-
and I think that's what he said. So, obviously, if there's changes, we're gonna have to reintroduce and everything.
Walter,
There's gonna be changes, I assume, but you understand, I'm just trying to keep the heat on, because I don't want this to die.
I'm dealing with the park. This is not here. This
Okay.
isn't even like moving
Okay,
on.
so-
It's fine.
So what do we need what do we need to do now? We're gonna motion to not hold the second public hearing.
Public hearing, which is gonna be held
Okay.
tonight, you just need a motion to carry that to either the July 20th meeting or to the August.
I'll make it August, because we're gonna discuss later, and that'll give you an extra 30 days, but I just don't wanna have questions from people in October saying, why does it take a year to address simple...
That would be a fair
Well, it's like with the lights up on Dumont.
Don't
We did
you
that.
worry.
So-
That's years,
Yeah.
years, Dumont Lights.
All right, that
So,
would be one.
so I'm gonna make a motion that we postpone the public hearing on the ordinance until the August
17th.
17th Township Committee meeting. That's my motion, okay. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
What's wrong with it, John?
Parsons?
Yes. We were gonna talk about maybe not holding one in July, because so many people are on vacation. But we have that under later, so.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing, oh, you have one for foreclosures,
Resolution for the tax foreclosure. So,
number 2, right?
go to the last meeting we had it, Bonnie gave us the amounts and the certificate numbers, so now it's ready to go, and this is what starts the process. Now,
Okay.
I think we'll be able to begin drafting the resolution, this exhibit A attached, which are the properties, and then the process stuff.
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to authorize the foreclosure proceeding to begin on the attached listed, properties.
Motion.
Second.
Comments, questions? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. Anything else, Mike?
Just, at the last meeting, I alerted the committee that the attorney for the fire department asked for some additional language, remember that for the ordinance, which was that they could hold, different events there at the firehouse as long as they were related. The committee didn't have a problem with that. I revised the ordinance, I sent it to the fire department's attorney. I guess because they're getting funding from the USDA is trying to fix it, obviously we have a reverter in the deed that says that it's not used for 2 years for fire purposes, or it reverts back to the town, so they're trying to work that out with the USDA. So, once we get the okay, it doesn't make sense to go and introduce it with the changed language until we make sure that their bank is okay with it. So as soon as we hear that, I'll bring it back, I'll give it to Kim, and we'll put it back on the agenda.
What are they? Any updates on the Legion property? Anything happen there? Did we do any, were we doing title searches?
No
or something?
restrictions, no restrictions were found in the deed. I
Okay.
got it, there's nothing, so, it was clean. The only the only restrictions were the right of first refusal that we all know about.
Right.
There was a fence that had to be on there, and then there was some other minor thing that does not affect it, but there's no cross easements with regard to parking, nothing else, so it's clean.
Okay. The last meeting, we also authorized you to start assessments, right?
Yeah, well,
Appraisals, rather.
I did contact some appraisals, I'm waiting for some, proposals to come back, which, I should have by the next meeting, obviously, and then the committee can take a look at those. And then, there was also, we want to get a septic inspection, but that's after we get on the contract.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to meet with them tomorrow night, and they're going to ask me questions, I'm sure, so.
One other thing, another item. We did the title searches on the Water Tower Road, so Mike and I talked about that today, that's the one with the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
It appears from the searches, it doesn't say definitively, but it refers to the public right-of-way or whatever else. Now, there's a bunch of different ways the roads can be created. They can be dedicated, the state, town, whatever, can go in and take the road, and people go into the middle of the road. It could be that, an old mining company owns the entire road. In any event, there doesn't seem to be anything, at least in the 60-year search that was done, that indicates conclusively that that's a town road. From what I've read, there was 3 different properties that we had along the road that we checked in. It refers to it as public right-of-way. The fact that 3 other roads, there's
Right.
roads that are in there, I suspect that it is. If we want to conclusively determine that, though, it's going to cost a lot more money, and I suspect that that road's been around for 100 years. You're probably not going to find anything that definitively says it'll refer to the cartway.
Are you saying it's cheaper for us to buy 2x6s every couple of years and fix it?
Yeah, it's
Like way cheaper.
Yeah,
Is that taken care of, Joe?
It's on my list.
Okay.
So-
I've sized it
So it's
out.
going to be cheaper to buy its lumber every couple of years than it is to,
Yeah, and that may
mess
be
with it.
something with regard to the bridge, any repairs that you might want to talk to the county about when you're talking about some of those other issues.
You could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, potentially. That would clearly be one of them. And we talked about potentially contacting the county engineer to see if it's on his list, but we don't believe it is, but we can do anything with that.
So, that's just another thing to add to the list, but, no.
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
We're good now?
Talking points list.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're looking for a motion to go into executive sessions to discuss personal issues regarding the zoning officer and the DPW pesticide stipend and contract negotiations regarding technical support with IT vendors. So, anyone have a motion?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. How long do you think we're going to be?
It's almost 9:30.
Yeah,
Let's try to do it, get it wrapped up in 15 minutes.
15, 20 minutes, hopefully? Okay. So we'll come back in about 15, 20 minutes?
Median top salaries are here. The county median salary for family income was here. Huge gap between the median top income and the average family income in the counties. That's just,
Well, the other thing too is Warren County was the second lowest paid county in the state for police services.
well,
For what?
again,
Police services.
again, we're the farthest west of 287. East of 287,
So there's only 115,000 in the whole
Okay.
county, that's for everything.
115,000. That's C Star.
We're all ready?
So, 1 mile square town, they got 115.
Okay, have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes, so we heard from executive session at what looks like 9:51 PM, where we discussed personnel matters dealing with the zoning officer and DPW pesticide stipend, as well as contract negotiations for technical support IT vendors. No official action was taken. Copy of these minutes will be available at such time as the committee determines there is no harm to the public interest.
Will, you have a,
Make a motion to, for a $1,500 stipend to Jeff Howe for, road department pesticide control, pesticide license operator.
I'll second it. Any questions, comments? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes. Old business, that Frank's zoning sign?
No, well,
Or is that
well,
yours?
he started it, but
Okay.
it fell into my hands here. Well, we had the big conversation about, our ordinance has no teeth.
Mhm.
You know, it says that if we find, short of anything that's put in a right-of-way that is obstructing your view in an intersection, that can be pulled immediately. Otherwise, you have to notify the sign owner, by mail, and that they have 30 days. That's a problem.
The sale's over and they're...
Yeah, right. You know, or the drivers want it or whatever. The question is, do we want to put teeth in this, or, because we can't take the signs down like we have a history of. Just, you know, that's just not the way it
It
works.
sounds like it's a problem mostly out by the box stores and at the...
Well,
I don't see it much anywhere else.
I mean, I do and I don't, but, you know, and sometimes it's way more than others.
Sleepy's and those other
Yeah.
stores that have, all of a sudden they'll get bombarded with 57 and...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they, you know, fortunately, they're up in the weekend and down in the weekend, you know, so, and yes, but by the time you notify them, so do we want to say that, okay, we notify them by mail and say immediately? And then I guess, what do we define as immediately before we take them down, you know, or...
But those real estate signs don't fall into this, do they?
Well, the ones in theory on the corners kind of do, but again, it's a Sunday afternoon open house, what are you going to do about
Like
that?
a one in front of your house, that doesn't...
No, that doesn't qualify, right. You know, so are you going to put teeth into it, or are we just going to kind of mosey on, and if they're in the right-of-way, they get mowed over when the sides eventually get mowed?
Well, I guess...
I mean, Frank's the one that certainly had the biggest issues
Yeah.
with it, because if they're on Wyndham Farms, they're putting them up there too. Drivers want it here, this, that. You know, and then with that being said, you want to put teeth into the ordinance, but, wow, how do you rule out the local nonprofits then? You know, is there going to be, no, the Greenwood Stingers can't put signs here, here, and here?
Belvedere Playhouse.
Yeah, right, you know, so it opens a whole lot.
Does that maybe pull a permit or something?
Well, or at least seek permission and have a location where they're allowed to.
You have similar problem in the other townships with this one?
Yeah, I mean, signage is really, I've never seen anything like this, I'll tell you that much.
Ours.
So you don't have a good one?
30-something pages, you need like a physics doctor to figure out what...
Yeah, it was...
I mean, I seriously, you know,
Can you come...
We got Amelia in.
Come back next month with something simpler and easier and more enforceable, do you think, or...
Sign ordinance, so that they couldn't put billboard signs up.
Right, it was the billboard electronic.
Billboard
Yeah.
protection.
This was
The guy was from Florida.
Yeah.
Florida.
He was like this national sign.
Yeah, that goes back 10 years or whatever,
So-
yeah.
You can't, temporary signs are allowed to take out, the zoning official's allowed to take out at any time. So if they stick those ones in the ground, the zoning official can. If they post them on public property, anybody can take them out. But unfortunately, it just says only the zoning official now can take those, you know.
Oh, I see, so I missed that wording, all right, okay.
Yeah, and then, but you're absolutely right about, if there's a regular, a permanent sign, it's, 30 days, it's gotta be certified mail, from the day the certified mail comes back, I mean, that's gotta be tightened up, because some people don't sign for the certified mail. In New Jersey.
Right. Well, I see, I thought it would also fall, the way I interpreted it, it was the sticking signs too, because that's the ones that everybody's pulling out.
Yeah.
But you're saying it's not.
Yeah, I think you might be able to take out the stick-in signs, because it says here, whenever a temporary sign is erected to maintain a violation of section 1611, the same may be removed by the zoning official at any time without notice. And then the temporary signs on posted public property, anybody can take them out. So if it's public property and somebody sticks a temporary sign, anybody can take them out.
And that's a county right-of-way, a township right-of-way?
Yeah, because, what, a lot of people think because it's a town right away, like, I've had this argument with real estate agents, they think that they can, like, stick a sign in front of your house, even though it's not for sale, say, open house down the street. The right-of-way just gives the town or the county or whoever the ability to go and work in that right-of-way,
Right.
vehicles there, whatever. It doesn't mean every member of the public can put in there. It's still your private property. So if somebody puts a sign in there and says, oh, it's in the right-of-way, say, yeah, but I own the right-of-way. I've given the county or the town or whatever the ability to work in there, but it's still the owner's property. So you can still take them out of there. And I know the county goes around with political signs anyway, and pulls them all up out of the right-of-way.
Well, it's state of New Jersey too, yeah, absolutely,
Maybe
right.
tough it up.
More so than the county, I'd say, but...
Yeah, I would say, like I said, I just quickly read this,
Here's the question, do you want to research and come back with an answer for that?
Well,
Here's the main answer.
Huh?
Pardon? Yes, okay.
You researched the back was simple solution?
Yeah, and let's make it, I didn't realize it was 30 pages, because like I said, I thought the temporaries also had to be done by writing, but I didn't read all 30 pages of that either, but...
Okay.
Something. No, it's all.
But it did its job. We don't have electronic signs on 78, which I have to give Elaine credit.
Anybody else have any old business? Any new business? Oh, July meeting.
Yeah, what's going on with July meeting?
We were talking earlier, you want to have a July meeting, or you want to not have it in July and just go to August? There's a lot of vacations in July, or how do we pay the bills? How do we pay the bills? Do we have to come in for like one workshop or something, or just a bill?
Day meeting, 5-minute meeting, that I could do a special notice for a special meeting to approve payments.
We're gonna do that, might as well just have a meeting. You know?
You just do a real short agenda.
What's the date of July meeting?
Huh?
5-minute meeting, just.
15th?
Meeting is what, July 18th?
July 18th?
20th.
July 20th.
20th.
Anybody gonna be away?
I'll be here for the 20th.
Yeah, I knew what these meetings were in January, you know, I'm laying my schedule out all around these, this is what I get paid for, so...
I'm here.
Then, well, you get, I won't be here next month, you can either...
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, things come up.
Or we could just do a real short agenda if we wanted to.
No, I mean, obviously,
Whatever
certain
you
things
want.
come up, you know, like a graduation, I understand that. But I didn't plan a personal trip
Yeah,
around it, you have no control over the graduation.
yeah, so, okay, so we'll table it for next month, and you can either decide you want to do a short agenda or
Mike,
something.
you around the 20th?
Fine?
Yes.
Okay.
Mike, you
Okay.
Professionals are here.
Okay, I need a motion to open the, for public comment again.
Make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to make any comments?
I've been going through town and some areas of developments and tributary streets. I've noticed that there are some houses that don't have numbers on them. And I'm wondering if there's an ordinance, that everyone should have a number on their mailbox in their home, because that's a serious liability for the town. If God forbid there is a fire, an emergency of some sort, and people don't know, like the emergency squad, they don't know how to get to somebody's house. There's no street lights on a lot of the streets that I've been on. And is there an ordinance? That's my question.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure there is. I'm looking right now while you're talking. I'm gonna go right to the township.
Well, the post office requires you to have it on your mailbox.
Joe, a few years...
A few years ago, we had a very aggressive, right, 911,
You
right.
had to have it visible from, so forth, yeah.
Well,
Minimum of 3 inch numbers.
I'm certainly not looking to find people, but I just want to make you aware that I've been all over, and there are numerous homes with no numbers at all. And I just think it's a dangerous situation for people who live there, and I also can see why it's really Another issue is, on the budget, just looking at the budget, there's 2 pages missing. I don't know if it's a lack of imagination, but page 41 and 42 are missing. Are you aware of that? Maybe it's a soft copy? I don't know the copy that I have on these 60 pages. I'm just curious if everybody else has 41 and 42.
My copy is lacking 41 and 42.
I have 41. Can you tell me what it is? 41. And this is resolution adopted.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
And 42 is, I wrote 42 is the summary of appropriations.
I'm missing
Page
those
40
two
has like
pages.
I
I
can
four
get
sections.
All right, thank you. The other thing is Memorial Day parade. I think it's great. I think it's great, a lot of fun. I have one objection that I use. I truly, really love, children. I have my own grandchildren, stepgrandchildren, I love all children. They can't be throwing into the street. It's unsafe. I see kids running after the candy, and then there are big trucks and cars and, things in the road, and you're shaking your head. I don't know if you're disagreeing or agreeing. Disagreeing. All right, but that's why we're here. It's fun. I don't think it's safe, and I'm putting it out there.
Okay.
Maybe people could walk around, with a bucket and walk on the street, and sidewalks and hand candy to the kids, but just throwing it out on the street like that and having me see kids running into the street, I think it's unsafe. And last but not least, I did mention the recognition of National Police Week safety for all the police in our county and elsewhere around the country, but I also agree with the mayor that we should also, even though it isn't National Other First Safety Responders Week, I want to acknowledge the rescue squad, the fire department, the road department, and all the ladies, auxiliary. Okay, I want to acknowledge them too. And that's it for tonight.
Thanks, Lydia.
Good evening.
And on that note, too, it's National Clerks Week a week ago,
National
too.
Clerks.
It's not National Clerks.
Every week.
Month.
Every day, every day.
Every week.
Every day.
Okay?
Anyway, my husband's calling me, he wants to go to bed.
Okay, thanks, Lydia.
Good night.
See ya.
All right.
I won't see you next month, I won't be here.
Nicholas, public-
Well, anybody else? Does anybody else go? Oh, that gentleman here. Oh.
I'm Walter Herdman. I live at 305 Bradford Lane. In referencing Mr. Mayor's comments before about the taxes, we all feel that way about taxes. My wife has banned words. I let her come up and speak about taxes, how she feels about them. But I'm not here to protest. I'm actually here to compliment you because I've seen the board work here several times. I've been here the last couple of months. And I see your community interest. I mean, you're taxpayers too, and I'm sure you're doing whatever you can to keep the taxes right for everybody. The schools, I don't have children in school. I was a teacher for over 30 years in New York, and I know how important it is to have schools that function well. It makes your community better. So whatever tax monies have to go through to schools, to me, that's money that's well spent for sure. Joe here, he saved you thousands of dollars tonight. He fixes a radiator and everything and saves you $3,000 on doing that. The fire department, I hope I don't have to use the fire department ever, but I want them to have good equipment. I want them to have the building safe for them, and they're out there sacrificing. And the chief, I mean, I was here at the meeting the last time when he spoke about how he's trying to save every penny, update the weapons, which are important. I want the police to have weapons that work. The thing about the drug that they use now to help the kids that overdose, whatever expenses have to go into things to save people in our community are necessary. I hope that I don't have to deal with the chief in any way ever either, but I want the police to have the best things. And I saw him even dealing with the car stuff, how he's trying to save money. The cars are down, they're trying to work around that. So I've been at other meetings with this township, not this specific one, but the land use as a protester. And it's not always good to have to be a protester or something. It's nice to get up here and be able to say, thanks for keeping our interests going. You saved us $20,000 on piping tonight. I mean, come on. So everybody pitches together in this group, and just saying, a lot of compliments.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Anybody else?
Motion, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just one comment. The house numbers, maybe if it's an ordinance, Kim, we can just remind people on the Greenwich Gazette, hey, you need to have a house number,
And
put a little article in
It'll
there.
be a perfect little write-up from Chief Coordinator Rexy. That's his job.
The county probably has a canned one ready. You can probably call it, they can email it down to you.
And
This
we
is-
can get that in the Gazette. Sorry,
Um,
Carol.
You know what, Walter, too, I know you always come and ask about the enforcement officer for zoning, and we are working on that. We discussed that in executive session, and, so if you want to relate it to your neighbors and stuff, it's not a forgotten issue. Paul's been following up on it. I don't want to take his thunder and credit, but he has been on top of it. We discussed it again tonight. It's not a forgotten issue, and, so, I just want to let you know, okay? Yep, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Did you, no, motion, we did a motion to adjourn?
No,
Motion. Second, all in favor? Aye.
East Side Heights, New Jersey, zoning and housing.
We can stand for the whole meeting.
You can stay standing, Will, if you
You can
want.
stay standing, don't sit. You can stand right here on the
Right,
fence.
it'll look like you're sitting.
If you were here on time, you'd be out of here.
Just got out 11 o'clock today.
Did you really?
Stand right there.
Friday, went for my surgery.
You should be home
A
right
3
now.
centimeter hernia was a 7, and I had 2 other hernias,
How many altogether?
3.
Right.
My brother had a double. I've never heard of it.
Right here. From that emergency surgery I had before.
Oh, there. I'm thinking down in the groin area.
Nah, Inglewood. I had a surgical. Surgical from,
Just the number and
when I had that emergency surgery.
Right. Yeah. That was like 2 years ago?
to the recording.
15, yeah.
We're
Yeah.
sorry,
But,
your call cannot be completed
It was originally a 3. When they got in there, it was a 7, so they put a bigger piece of mesh in.
Are you hitting
And they had 2 other small
No.
ones.
All right, you don't need
Oh,
Fixed.
okay, thanks.
Got home on Sunday. Monday, I was like, nah. Tuesday, I was like a tabletop. They took out 500 cc's of blood from draining.
Yeah. How's the pain? Oh, you want anything?
Bearable.
You taking anything?
Tylenol, extra strength, 600 milligrams.
Yeah. Do that, not anything else. If you could, the stuff that you hear out there on opiate use and doctors giving it 30 pills.
What hurt worse was that they did a IR. They put me in a X-ray, and then they stuck a tube in.
You awake?
Please leave your message for 908-217-6017.
Well, that was frankly attempted.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Is it that fun?
Okay. Special meeting, Brewers Township Committee, June 2nd, 2016. Members present, Kenya.
Here.
Eames.
Here.
Spencer.
Here.
Marquette is absent. Varsity.
Yes,
Okay.
here.
All rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag,
United States of America, and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act by mailing the schedule of Township Committee Express Times, North Star Local newspaper, posted copy on Township Bulletin Board, and filing copy of the Township Clerk.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion to go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter.
I'll make that one.
Second. Any questions? All in favor, aye. Frank's ready to be called back, so.
I'll call him back while you're closing the doors.
The dam, as they say, or under the bridge.
We are recording.
The ship is sailed. Okay, we're back on. I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Bill, you have a motion?
Okay, I have a motion to hire Jamie McDermott at a rate of $15 an hour for a temporary position as the collections clerk for our taxes and store fees.
This is all pending,
Starting Monday, which is the 5th of June, we will go out for advertising. Okay. We also, in this motion too, we'll authorize Kim to advertise for the 7 days, I guess, starting Monday, the position. And once we get those in, we will go through the application process.
anyone want a second?
Second.
Okay, got a second. Anybody have questions, discussions, comments? Roll call.
Kenneth,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Spencer,
Yes.
Marqueta. Yes. Marson.
Yes. Okay. Any other business?
Real quick,
Oh,
real quick. Is this, can we give permission for the, and whether or not they choose to put the signs out front's another ballgame, but can we just give permission, whether they do or they don't, for the Stinger and the golf tournament to put on?
now, we could probably discuss that.
But the recreation department is a department of this township. It's a township department. So I feel that if a rec that we've authorized,
Okay, if you want to do that, if you want to make a motion that pending an opinion from the attorney, and if he says it's okay, we can make the motion that it goes through with the approval of the attorney. If he says no, then it's a no, because you could run into censoring issues.
No, well, I mean, the golf tournament's far enough out that I'm not, but the Stinger run is,
Right.
we're on it.
Well, I do know it becomes an issue of censoring if we say yes to some and no to others. Now, the Stinger race is by an outside agency, especially,
Okay,
right?
then, all right.
Now, Rick, I think we can maybe...
I thought they were both nonprofits, and one's the town, one's not. All right, I'm good, we can pass that up until we get clarity from the lawyer.
Huh?
Well, you said it, huh? That's,
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
all right, so
Okay.
there's no new business.
Motion
No,
to
no.
adjourn?
Make that motion?
Second?
second.
All in favor? Aye. Thanks, Frank. Have a good night.
Thanks, Frank.
I think the Stinger has enough signs out already. I've seen them all over the place too.
Yeah, he already warned me.
Kim, her social security number's on here. Can you shred that?